I have a complete and utter horror of ugliness. Ever since I was very young. I don't know why.
Maybe because you're a terrible person.
Lots of people get lost in Saltburn.
This place is not for you.
I can honestly say that these last few months have been the happiest of my life. Anything else I should know about?
No, just be yourself. They'll love you. It's relaxed, I promise.
Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers. The last time this coven of witches convened was for...
Missing a member. We are
missing a member, unfortunately. But you were both in America, and the both of you are the wonderful Jazmine Sewsanker. Hello, Jazmine Sewsanker.
Hi.
And the wonderful Hannah Morrowfell. I did stumble over your name.
Thank you.
It's all right. We're doing 2023 Spotlight, and this is going to be the first episode. And I'm not saying that this is the best film of the year. It certainly isn't. But I thought overall 2023 was a rather excellent year for film. And
I would agree.
It's been very, very, very good. And so these aren't necessarily... It's in the run-up to Oscar season, and we will be touching on the Oscar movies that I like, but it isn't going to be... But I think the Oscars are going to be very strong. Anyway, this is getting away from the point because this is going to be just a 2023 Spotlight series. And it goes without saying that one of the biggest talking point films of the year has been Emerald Fennell's Saltburn. Good, bad, who knows? Now, a lot of people have been talking about Saltburn like it was Babylon. Did anybody watch Babylon last year? Babylon was very, very good. Babylon was my film of the year. It was very, very good. Don't trust anybody who says that Babylon's bad. But Babylon was incredibly divisive. And Babylon was either famously a 1-star movie or a 5-star movie. Now, Babylon was very, very good and had multiple sort of shock and awe scenes and sex and violence and cocaine and lots of, sexy celebrities. And people keep saying that Saltburn's like Babylon, but I disagree because I think that Babylon's very, very good. I think that Saltburn is very, 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 very enjoyable, and I like it a lot, and I just finalized my review and gave it 7 out of 10. And I actually think it is closer to Don't Worry, Darling. Now, this is a film that is exponentially better than Don't Worry, Darling, but I do think it's quite similar in the sense of female writer and director's big second movie. She's been given a lot more money and a lot more carte blanche. It's basically a modernization remake of a better movie from called The Thomas and Mr. Ripley. And I'm not going to do the whole thing. I love listening to the Don't Worry Darling podcast, actually. That's one of my comforts. And I annoy myself the amount of times I talk about the Stepford Wives. So I'm not going to talk about Thomas and Mr. Ripley a lot. And it's great vibes and great aesthetic with some pretty great performances and an overall quite entertaining, enjoying ride that if you talk about it for a second or pick out anything, it completely falls apart. I've said all of this, and in actuality, I don't actually believe what I'm saying because I think Saltburn's a lot better and a lot more entertaining. I've talked too much. Jazz, you messaged me, as always. Jazz, you messaged me saying happy birthday and then said, please tell me you've watched Saltburn. Why?
Because I feel like if there's anyone to talk to this movie about, now it's the two people I'm with. Plus Rhian, I would love to hear Rhian's opinions, which we will hear later. I just feel like
did, yes.
it's, I don't know, I just feel like I notice certain things in movies and then Tom comes in and bulldozes over those. And I just really wanted to know what he was going to bulldoze over in this specific movie.
I don't want to disappoint you, Jazz, but I've surprised myself with Saltburn. I've kind of been a freaky agent of chaos in the sense that I'm a freak. And yeah, I really enjoy Saltburn and I really enjoyed it watching it again. And maybe I'm a real freak, but people need to get over themselves. Rhian messaged me the other day watching Saltburn, and she was like, wow, what the fuck? And I was literally watching a movie called Under the Skin, which is far more unsettling about Scarlett Johansson as she's an alien and she's like, she's gonna kill this mentally, like physically deformed man. And I'm like, yeah, people need to watch weirder movies. This guy licked a tub. But everyone's losing their minds. Hannah, Saltburn.
Yes, Saltburn. I love this movie. I rewatched it today because I was like, I need to. I think I watched like a month ago, and then I rewatched it today to prep. And I love this movie. Oh my gosh, the aesthetic is just immaculate. It's so beautiful. It really reminded me of well, obviously it's like based on Brideshead Revisited and The Talented Mr. Ripley, which I like both those films, but the 2007 aesthetic, excellent, beautiful. I had no notes. I thought people were really overreacting to all of the sexual scenes. I think there's a lot worse stuff that happens in other films. So.
I do have 2.5 pages of single space notes, I have to say.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
sexy.
yeah.
Also, sex scenes.
Yeah, they don't
even get any.
There's no sex. Well, there's some sex. There's oral sex and there's hand sex. And there's grave
sex.
I'm
sorry. I am glad that we record these because that might be the first time on air that somebody's ever said the phrase hand sex.
Oh, I don't know how else I would describe it.
I don't want to throw this in straight away, but is there any reason to modernize Talented Mr. Ripley without having them actually have sex? Is that not the reason? Is that not the reason to make it?
I feel like I saw in an interview with Emerald Fennell that they cut a bunch of the like more intimate stuff. So this is not even like everything. But what else could there have possibly been? I don't know. I think
in what movie do you keep a grave
Felix
fucking?
And Ollie actually had a lot more like it was a bit more like on the nose. I don't think they actually had sex, but I think that there was more intimate stuff.
I do think they had sex because I was thinking this. I do think they had sex because when we get the in the twist that's not a twist montage at the end when he sends the email to Summerby's, they're laid together. So he stayed the whole night. So yeah, true. After a hand job, I'd love to fall asleep next to my partner, but and get fully undressed. But I think something more must have happened. I guess we could have seen it. Well, actually, I want to bring this up first. In the very, very start, there is this, I loved him, but I wasn't in love with him.
Oh, I hated that line. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, it's
was
also
repeated
stupid.
Love him. I love him. You're not giving me anything more.
It wanted to be
said the same way.
It wanted to be so badly Gone Girl. Who are we? What have we done to each other? What will we do? And then saying it again later, but everything's different. Irony being Rosamund Pike. But it wasn't that. And in that quick flash montage, there is the scene of him he's biting a pillow and his face is being forced out. He's... And I thought, my first thought watching it when I watched it in the cinema was, oh, that's a quick flash of when they eventually have sex, and then when you watch it again, you'll see the pillow. And then no, he's just like, oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I'm so angry. Oh, wait, I'm a genius. I do have a lot of problems, and I don't want to be negative Nancy because Whereas Don't Worry Darling, I felt like Will Ferrell in Zoolander, where you three were like, this movie's actually good. And I was like, have you all taken...
No, that was
No,
not
you
me.
weren't. Sorry,
Sorry.
sorry, sorry, sorry. Mainly Rhian. And I
Yeah.
was like, did you take crazy pills? And but I think, and another thing with that was that nobody mentioned Stepford Wives. Whereas Emerald Fennell has blatantly said out loud, it's Brideshead and it's definitely Ripley. And I was like, and there is the larger conversation of does saying it out loud actually mean anything if you're just going to literally take the film beat by beat? And not beat by beat, but literally Farley is
Yeah.
is Freddie,
Yeah.
and that's the most egregious example.
Well, I think Brideshead is exactly the same film, just like
Hmm.
their dynamic is swapped.
Well,
So
I've been talking. I was talking to somebody the other day who has read and likes the book The Little Stranger, which was made into a film with Domhnall Gleeson. Anyway, and she just and I said, "Oh, what's it about?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, he's in this house and they're all dying mysteriously." But it's all actually the twist is that he killed them all and then he gets the house. And I said, "What?" I was like, and because that was apparently that I knew of that book, I've never read it, but that was a very popular book around 10 years ago by Sarah Waters, who did The Fingersmith, which was made into The Handmaiden. But it does. I mean, at least Brideshead wise, they do drop it in and they say, "Oh, it sounds like Brideshead revisited." And well, actually, they're based after us. And I think the based after us line is funny enough to let that cringeworthy saying out loud slide.
yeah. Yeah,
I
they love name dropping Evelyn War. They're like every fucking sentence, as soon as they get to Saltburn, it's like, oh yes, my family is based on
Yeah.
Evelyn War, blah 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 blah
Yes.
blah. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to spend a lot of time, but I did rewatch Promising Young Woman in preparation for Saltburn. I'm just going to go fully in. Enough time's passed. That's a bad movie. We need to stop. That is a bad movie that doesn't make any sense. Carrie Mulligan's great. And the Bo Burnham twist was good, even though it doesn't make sense. And the cake and the having the cake and eat it too ending completely deflates the power and message of the let's call it the first ending. And I think at the time, I don't want to I sound like I'm on Joe Rogan or something here, but I think at the time there were a lot of people who were afraid to sort of I don't want to say afraid, but no, I'll say, yeah, there were a lot of critics. Like I think I maybe sent it to Rhian. I sent that review like to a couple of people to just like proofread, and I don't do that ever because it was the first movie really about Me Too, and it was a revenge fantasy, and it was incredibly exciting and a great conceit. But the plotting and the eventual reveal, it has in many ways it has the same problem as Saltburn in that great aesthetic, everybody's great in it, and it's funny and dark and interesting. But if you just pull a goddamn string, it completely falls apart. And I didn't like Promising Young Woman. Hannah, Jazz, did you like Promising Young Woman?
Yeah. I mean, I had
Yeah.
a good time, but I think I'd love a film that looks fun, that is pretty.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like a cinematography person. It's like the same with plays where I'm like, if it looks great and the characters are great, I'm gonna love it. The plot, it kind of comes secondary to me.
Yeah,
So
I'll forgive a lot for aesthetic.
yeah. It's like
Like-
that's why I dislike Don't Worry Darling so much, because I disliked all the characters. And like I was like, okay, so you're not giving plot, you're not giving characters. I guess it's pretty, but where's the rest of it? At least Saltburn gives me characters and like
I
pretty.
made some mashed potatoes. Do you
Yeah.
remember when he couldn't remember how to mash a potato, Jazz? And you said, "No, that's just cute because it's like exactly what Harry would do." It was like your favorite man in the world. You want to sincerely say that he can't mash a potato.
It's a bit bold of you.
What do you think about? Do you approve of Taylor Russell, Jazz?
Oh, 100%.
She's
If I could
wonderful, isn't
pair
she?
Harry with anyone, it would be her. Queen, love her. I'm
She's
also
great.
wearing a Harry jumper right now,
You
appropriately.
look
so.
like you're in the cast of The Effect, funnily enough.
Oh yeah, the grey outfits. God.
Um, But no, I like Taylor Russell. Bones and All was excellent, and so was Waves. She's a wonderful
Yes,
actress.
she is.
Um, let's talk about Saltburn. Uh,
Let's.
I loved him, but I wasn't. Was I in love with him? Again, we've just touched on this. It sets it up for this sort of. Can we just change this? I hate two things.
Okay.
That's it. I only hate two things. Can we please stop? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! 10 weeks later. Sorry, 10 weeks earlier. And can we please stop? Like, is this movie a million times better if we don't know that Barry Keoghan survives? And there's the possibility that he might die or something like that. Do we gain anything from him with a little cool hair do, I guess, and him being like, oh, yeah, because he doesn't say anything of interest
Yeah.
or
But
effects.
I'm also like, I wasn't shocked about who he was talking to by the end of it.
Okay.
Like, I wanted it to be like, I don't know, he had done something with, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was a big grand reveal, or revealed that he was like dying and like giving out the entire like story to someone to put down someone. Do you know what I mean? I wanted something other than what we got. I was a bit like, well, that's just a bit of a
Also,
flat.
It was a frustrating like narrative piece, because I don't know why we started with that and we didn't really come back to it until the end. Like, it wasn't used
Yeah.
throughout, and then we had that horrible montage in the beginning that I think was just unnecessary.
It was
Because,
just
like,
pretty.
why are you showing me the whole movie before the movie starts?
it's like the Mission Impossible movies have this problem, and I still don't know why they do it. Because they did it in the TV show, and they did it in the first film as a sort of homage. Where it's like, it's so stupid. You're just showing everything that happens. And also it has the Rose in Titanic problem of like, he sat there for what, 2 hours and he describes everything. He's like, yeah, and then I made your daughter, like, I licked your daughter when she was on a period. Is he really just sat there talking to a comatose woman, going into all of this detail? And then you know your cousin, yeah, I gave him a hand job. And if my accent's bad, so's his.
Yeah, I was like, where's he from?
My guy had an accent for the first 5 minutes of the film, and then he was back to
He had
Irish. He was
so
like,
many
I'm
different
not doing it.
accents during that film.
Another link to Don't Worry, Darling. I was watching this with a person, and in the first 5 minutes they said, I really don't like all the close-ups of skin. And I said, this isn't your film.
I love that. I loved it.
Oh wait, no, I think it's great. You were talking about the annoying montage. I think this actually doesn't have as many as like watching it again. I'm like, oh, not really. There's the MGMT one. It's like, yeah, Summer's great. And then there's like, oh, I'm in love with him. I think it's that they keep reusing the exact same footage over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm on a plane on the roof of the building.
Oh yeah, where they're like smoking on top of Oxford.
Oh yeah,
Oh, God.
Oxford. Oh.
I feel like it's just a thirst trap.
It is.
It does feel like a literal
like the
fan
first
cam.
thing my mum said when we like, because I walked in and she was watching it because all her mates were like watched it the night before, and my mum was like, what the fuck is this film? And then I walked in and my mum's like literal first words were like, he's hot. I was like, well, yeah, that's all you really need to know.
Also, like,
That's
Jacob
about it,
Elordi
yeah.
in this film is just a baby girl. He is coquette. He keeps like, there's so many shots of him looking at the camera like very Diana-esque, like it's like, yes, I love him, but I'm so confused by why they kept doing that.
Well, my mum was like, he was the only likable one. She was like, he's the real hero of the story. I was like,
I don't know about that. After rewatching it, he's just as annoying as his
everyone
mother.
else.
He is his mother. That is who he is.
Well, don't
He's
we
just in
all
a hot
strive to
Jacob
be?
Elordi body.
Let's touch on Jacob Elordi. I just think he's great. I think he's really, really good. I've just watched Priscilla as well. He's excellent. He's a real talent. And I think, and Euphoria, series 2 aside, Euphoria series 2 is Saltburn. Great aesthetics, great vibe, lots of great performances. Doesn't make a lick of sense. And
No.
Plot is terrible.
but in many ways, would I rewatch the intervention episode and the Lexis Play episodes over some of the series one stuff? Certainly over. Oh, I'm in therapy. I was like, oh, fucking hell. Do you remember, Jazz, when you and Leanne caught up on Euphoria and watched it like on Sky or whatever, and it included the 2 COVID specials as part of the first series?
Yeah.
And Leanne's takeaway was, that was a really weird finale.
Oh god, yeah, because season 1 finale is so iconic, and then you get those 2 like monologue
random
episodes.
things, and Leanne just didn't understand that was a separate thing, and she was very confused by it. Love you, Leanne Baker. I always end up talking about Leanne on this.
Excellent accent, though. He's very, very good. And also, Alison Oliver, I mean,
she's insane. She's so good.
And she's Irish.
I know.
I didn't
See,
know.
why did she do it? He sounded Irish.
No, because he's supposed to be from Merseyside.
Yeah, he's
which is like, I don't
That's
actually
not
know
Irish,
what
is
accent
it?
that is supposed to be, but it wasn't a Merseyside accent. So
Also, why couldn't he have been? I know he couldn't have been. Well, sorry, I was just going to say I know why he couldn't have been impoverished Irish, because they need to drive up to his house. But also, where is Saltburn?
yeah, because I was like, are they
That was
driving
very
4 hours
close.
to get there? Like, surely does he not ask where they're going?
Because they drove there, had dinner, and drove back and made it in time for the party, all in daylight.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
they
it
were
didn't
listening
get
to Mr.
dark.
Brightside, you know, they were having a good
Yeah.
time.
It's just down the
Um,
road. You know?
That's what it felt like. It felt like that was the big house of the village, and then they went into the village to see his house, and it just didn't make sense.
Unless it's like a summer house and it's. But also, if it is more up north, then why do they all talk about the north as if it's? I mean, well,
They didn't know where
they're
Liverpool
they're
was.
posh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were like, oh, where's Liverpool? Oh, yeah, it's got rehab. At 6 minutes and 4 seconds, we have the guy who can do maths, and
Oh, I
he's
love
like,
him.
and he was like, "Oh, fucking let me do something," and
Ask
everybody
me
goes,
something.
and everybody goes silent. And actually, Jazz, I firmly disagree. I found him incredibly annoying, and I thought that everybody going quiet and him screaming in the middle of a public place make me do a sum. Then I thought, oh no, this is going to be a really, really bad film.
I thought it was hilarious.
I guess it's kind of funny, but does it?
I don't think that part was
watching
funny.
that
I
film
think
though, like that part. I don't actually think it goes. So like the film goes silent, but you can see people talking in the background. So I do think that
Yes.
it's just for like
there's no
stylistic
reaction.
things to be like, oh, Ollie's going through something. He's just been yelled at by a stranger. I think everybody else is not even.
No, I think that was supposed to be a funny thing, and
It is supposed to be a comedy. I didn't think it was like a comedy, but you know,
yeah,
it was kind of funny sometimes.
Rosamund, right? Yeah, I like
Oh,
a
God,
lot
yeah.
of the people.
I tried to be a lesbian once.
Yeah,
It was a bit too wet for me. Men are so lovely and dry.
I just feel like you should be hating me more. And I feel like I'm sure Jazz was like girding her loins for like, oh, Tom's gonna hate this. Tom's gonna have really. Did you think I would have liked this movie, or do you think I would have hated it?
I was undecided. I think you would have hated it purely because I feel like you don't like a film with a lot of fuss. And this has a lot of fuss. Like, it's got a lot of feathers, a lot of like sparkle, a lot of like in your face things. And I feel
love
like
all of these things.
No, but not in this style. What I'm saying is when it comes from a woman director, you don't love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
if there's women
come
involved, you're
on.
like,
What minutes?
Go on. Did you like Barbie? Did you like Little Women?
I liked the first 3 hours of Barbie where it was about the atomic bomb.
Ah, okay.
And then
Our point has just been proven, you know.
I really liked the first 3 hours of Barbie where it was about the atomic bomb, and I didn't like the second 2 hours where then it was about. No, Barbie was solid. I think I gave it 6 out of 10.
Oh, lower than Saltburn. Interesting.
Well, I'm sorry. Are we going to just pretend that the middle 40 minutes of Barbie isn't dog shit?
I don't know. I had a good time. I cried every time I saw it. I saw it like 2 or 3 times in cinema, and I cried every time.
Yeah, it's. I went in with to Barbie, and I was a bit like, why is there so much Ken?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, you've just proven your point for you. But no, Ken was very funny. And I thought Margot was great. I genuinely thought everything in. I said this in the review. Everything in Barbie Land, some of the best production design of the
Yeah,
year. So
they
funny,
should have
so
stayed in
brilliant, so
Barbie.
visual. And I thought the middle 40 was dog shit. And I'm sorry, I'm not talking about the monologue. I thought America Ferrera and her kid. I just didn't care. I was like, what the fuck is this? She's like, oh, I had all of these ideas for Barbies. I was like, I'm sorry, what are we doing? Please, please stop. And I know that it had to be a fish out of water movie, and she had to realize how to be, a real woman or whatever. But that 40 minutes, and as much as I love Will Ferrell and found him funny, it just like stopped absolutely dead. And also, I'm gonna say it. I'm just Ken. Underrated. Sorry, overrated, like underwhelming. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, it won Critics' Choice, and
Yeah.
even my guy Ryan
He
was
was
like,
shocked that it won.
what's
He was
going
shocked.
on?
He was like, we're not going to win another one. Let me say all I've got to say right now.
In its fairness, it does have a thing called a melody. Whereas I'm a dog, I just a fall, I wanna fight. It's hard being a
What are you
woman.
singing, my guy?
Stop,
I was singing
stop
Billie Eilish.
attacking.
That is
stop
not
attacking Billy.
at
Because
all what it sounds like.
I
Stop,
used to
stop
fall,
right now.
but now I don't fall. What's the first line?
I used to float, now I just fall down.
Okay, so I was close.
No,
Um,
you weren't.
No,
You're a
it's
boy. You
not.
don't get it.
I feel
Anyway,
like
let's move on
appreciate
so you can
Barbie,
stop
have to
shitting
have
over
a-
Barbie.
And-
Yeah, exactly.
And I did like Little Women, and I loved Lady Bird.
Okay,
Little Women is
cool.
a great film. I think it's my favorite film.
Little Women.
Ever.
Yeah, Greta Gerwig.
The problem is that every single one of these years, like Little Women, it was like, no, I didn't like Little Women, but I loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I didn't, or I loved Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon. Actually, my favorite film of the year?
Not
Hashtag,
Killers.
not
Not Killers
Killers.
of the Flower Moon.
Oh, no,
No,
that's
it's-
number 3.
Okay,
What-
good. Which one?
Why?
Say
Why?
your favorite film of the year.
I will do, but why are you being negative on Killers of the Flower Moon, Jazz?
Because it's another fucking white man story. Sorry.
I don't want to be that. Have you seen the film, Jess?
Yes, I've watched the film. I've watched the film, and yet again, it is another story that should have been told by people of color that was trampled over by white men. I'm looking at you, Leonardo. Sorry.
It wasn't
Also,
Liam.
his improv was just bad. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. What was your top film of the year?
It's May December, but the movie is not
There we
trampled.
go.
Good movie. Good movie.
May December is absolutely. Do you want to come on for the May December episode?
I will, yeah.
I haven't watched it, so no.
Watch it.
It's not that kind of snake.
It is
I
absolutely.
hate that. I
It
hate
is the
that.
best film of the year. Yes, okay, Jazz, I'll pencil you in for May December. I guess
Talk about Saltburn.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Saltman. Okay, scene with Rhys Shearsmith. Love Rhys Shearsmith. But also, he read the Bible.
Yeah. Do we really want to believe that he read the Bible and 20 other books in the summer?
50.
You know what I think he was doing was what we all do when we're asked by a tutor, did you read the set list? And he's like, yeah, but you can't go back on your word once you said that you have. So he just firmed it and was like, yeah, I defo have. I did that to Tony in my first week. I was like, yeah, I read every single book we were supposed to read, and I just pretended like I had the whole time I was there.
Another thing
Oh
that
no,
sort
I
of gets.
actually
Oh,
read
go
all
on.
of them.
Yeah, I read them. Yeah,
I did.
but
I was too scared
also
not
the
to.
Bible wasn't on there, so we were okay. Also,
Okay, I've read the Bible.
also,
Yeah,
But
what,
I was raised Catholic, so
yeah.
also, what reading list has the Bible on it? What is his
I
degree?
know.
What
are
is
you
he
doing?
actually doing?
questions
What
I
is
have.
him and Farley doing?
What
Farley's
degree,
blowing
what is
Rhys
he reading?
Shearsmith.
What college is he in? I don't know
Oxford.
which one.
Because they always ask
Yes,
him what
he's in
college he's in,
Oxford.
and
I
he
know
just
that,
says
but which
same
college
as
in
yours.
Oxford?
Oh, I
Because
don't.
they're separate little.
Is
Yeah.
he not?
He was just
Is
the same as them.
you are watching in real time? Somebody realised that Oxford isn't one college.
No,
Wait.
there's so many. There's Worcester College, Balliol College, Jesus College, Trinity College,
Wow.
like loads of different ones. I don't know which college he's in. So
Well,
yeah.
this is the thing. 1 minute 38.
Mhm.
Is Emerald Fennell really good or really annoying? And does the whole "I was at Oxford, darling," oh yeah, 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 is that actually a little bit annoying, or is this, or is she okay?
I saw a really interesting like take on this, that a movie that's supposed to be like, oh fuck the rich, blah blah blah, has actually like victimized them and made a lot of people feel sorry for them, and it stems from the fact that like she is an Oxford like raw girly.
Was
I
this
don't think it
supposed
was
to
an Eat
be?
the Rich film.
Yeah,
It's
was
not
this
an Eat the
supposed
Rich
to
film.
be? I mean,
Well, that's what I'm seeing on, because I went onto TikTok and I was like, let me get different opinions. I want to
That's
like,
bloody Americans for you, though. No
Mm.
British person is gonna go,
I
this is
don't know
an Eat the
whether
Rich film.
I don't remember who like what where
Also,
the
we
person
need
was
to
from, but that was just what they said.
also we need to stop describing every movie with rich people as "Eat the Rich." Like Glass Onion, Parasite, and The Menu are three very, very different films. And Succession is 4 series. Can we please stop pretending that this is a genre? You know, just because somebody has a bank account doesn't mean that it's all in the same thing. We're going to take our first break and then we'll be back. And maybe as we arrive at Saltburn.
Oh god, how cheesy.
It's taking longer than I thought. Back. Now, before the break, we were talking about the ethical nature of Martin Scorsese directing Killers of the Flower Moon. Let's continue that. No, let's talk about a man drinking cum.
Real switch up there.
Maybe. Okay, here we go. Wait. Okay, right. He read the Bible. Why is he surprised to see Felix? Okay, yeah, right. When he punctures the bike, right, let's talk about it as if we know everything that we know. Because A, we did know everything. I don't know. It's the worst twist reveal I've seen in a very, very long time. And I don't want to be rude, and I don't like being rude. And I'm including the person who I watched this with. People are stupid. If you I just think it's like badly made in like the conceit and delivery that it's a twist. Like it's a film crying out for a twist, and so they just go, okay, what if we re-edit the film and remove some of the stuff where we actually saw him doing it? And it just doesn't make any sense. He put razor blades on. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But when it comes to the bike, he looks genuinely surprised to see Felix, and he's not that good an actor. And he's like, just like, oh, and like when he's rolling up, it feels like he's surprised. And I know that that's how twists work. Of like, we're supposed to be like, oh, he's punctured his bike, but like, well, I don't get it. Anyway, all right, the bike, fun little meet cute.
Yes. And when Felix like kisses him on the helmet, I was like,
Bit much.
oh my god, he's really touchy-feely.
It's like,
Damn,
I love
you
you.
just met this guy.
Yeah, I love you. Mwah. Mwah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wally.
It was the way he kept repeating, that's so kind. That's so kind. I was like, I've never heard anyone use the word like kind to describe another person while talking to them. That's so weird.
Are you being serious, mate? Mate? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Tom just wants to do the accent.
He just want to be Jacob, and I get it. Who doesn't want to be
I want to be Jacob.
I'm sorry, don't want to be that guy. He's only got 1 inch on me. I just want to put that out there.
Where?
Hey, whoa.
No, Jacob Elordi's 5'6'5".
Yeah.
I'm
Tom, you're not 6'4".
I'm 5'6". I got it wrong.
So you were talking about the other place. I see.
Yeah. No, I am. Anyway, we don't need to talk about my height or length. I've realised what my first Oscars joke going to be when I eventually get to host the Oscars. It's so boring me, and I don't want either of you to actually comment and say that yes, Oppenheimer was too long or anything like that. But every single year, are we just going to say the same joke of like, oh my God, that movie was really long? It was like, yeah,
Yeah, it's a bit old now, isn't it?
please shut the fuck up.
It's not even a joke at this point. It's just like,
It's
yeah,
just like it's
was.
okay. People make long movies.
And I'll go up there and I'll say, every year people talk about, being things being too long, and bad luck for you guys, compensating.
Jesus Christ.
With those jokes, you probably will end up hosting the Oscars.
Hey,
Yeah.
very good, very good. I'll probably get the year where they make like the the movie about Betty Shabazz, Malcolm X's widow, and I always remember Whoopi Goldberg when Billy Crystal did it for 3 years, and then she hosted because he was busy, and that was the Schindler's List year, and she said it in her monologue. She was like, I think it was The Crying Game. And it was like, Billy got The Crying Game, I got Schindler's List. It's a lot harder to make jokes.
Yeah, that's gonna be you. And you will just make them anyway. And people will be
why
like,
not?
And then blame the other writers when no one laughs at your joke.
That was it's my new favorite video. Not because any of the jokes are good, but I just love watching a train crash. It's just when he starts going. This is of course Joe Corn. When he starts saying, it's funny.
Oh, it's so bad. He's like, shut up.
Yeah,
it's like,
shut up,
bro.
yeah. I will say this though. His joke about Barry Keoghan's penis being really big and being on another table, that was funny.
yeah, that was something I was really surprised by. Sorry, can we just sidebar? Can we talk about Barry Keoghan being very well blessed for such a tiny man? I was watching the final 10 minutes and I was like, wow.
You sound like Farley. You're like, what a surprise. What does he say?
Well, he says, no, that was unexpected.
Yeah, what a twist.
That
was the biggest. Maybe
shocked.
that's the twist that people keep talking about.
That he's packing.
Maybe it's, some people.
Well, didn't know that he was going to do that at the end, did they? They were saying like originally the dance through the house at the end. I know we're jumping, but that wasn't like he wasn't supposed to be naked during that. He was supposed to be fully clothed.
I
And
am
he was
all
like,
for.
I'm just get my dick out.
Yeah,
He's
and
like,
also,
"Guys."
I want to. Can you close the set? I've got an impulse for the to fuck a grave, mate. Get a grip.
We all saw it coming as soon as he was laid down. We were like,
Yeah, I was like, he's gonna fuck.
I was worried that he was gonna do something to
Rosamund Pike. Yeah.
Yes. When he like climbed on top of her just before he
like sniffed up her legs, and I was like, no.
But he pulled out that tube.
That story.
He pulled out a tube, and I thought, oh no.
That was like really satisfying to watch. I can't lie.
What, the pulling out the tube?
Yeah, it's like the way he does it. It's just very like.
Yeah, it is good. It's very similar to what's the better flourish? And there is an answer. Is it the pulling out of the tube, or is it Amy Dunn, Rosamund Pike shaking of the hair?
Oh god, yeah, that one is a good one.
The greatest moment in cinema. Right, okay. Oliver buying around. Oh yeah, sorry. Thank you, Ollie. Whoa!
So cute, so cute.
It's accurate though.
And also, that's another thing with the twist reveal. It's just stupid. Don't bring out any money. Why? I don't have any money. It's hiding the money. So, what is this? And then you dropped this, mate. Yeah, why do you not like Felix? I just think he's like a bit of an arsehole, but like a southern prick or whatever, but he's a nice enough guy. Or do you think it's all a fetishistic thing?
I think it is like it's the same as his mother, where it's like, she puts on like this airs and graces of being like a really lovely person, but she loves trauma, and even Felix loves trauma. Like there's a scene where they're at a pub, it's just them two, and he's asking about Ollie's parents,
and he keeps
He's like, so brave, mate. So brave. You're inspiration.
Was it hard? I bet it was hard. Was it hard? Like,
no,
yes.
awful. He says awful 3 different times. It's like,
Yeah.
is
Oh
it
God,
awful,
yeah.
mate? Yeah,
It's
awful.
it's
Oh,
like,
that
oh, you
sounds
just
awful.
trauma, you want the trauma, you want the gossip. And I
Yeah.
respected that because same.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I think
I
it's
mean,
like
I'm
the
sure he's a lovely
fascination with
person,
it.
but
He just very
yeah.
it's a kind of like when you get fascinated, like I don't want to say it, but like when people like are fascinated by other cultures, it kind of feels like that.
Yeah.
Like
That's
he's
sort of
like fascinated by
or I'll play devil's advocate. Or maybe he's a really nice guy. And I'm sure, yeah, you can put a spin on it and say that he's, being a, I don't know, rich person savior or whatever the white savior version of this would be. But like, maybe he is just taken in by the story and he's a poor guy and believing what he says. He's from an incredibly drug-addled house. And he's like, yeah, mate, you come stay with us. You could, mate, it's I am not necessarily
I'm
in
for
a
that
cynic.
argument.
Yeah.
I'm for that argument because if he was really like just in it for like the gossip and the tea and to be like, oh, look at my new little toy, like I'm so cool because I know poor people. It's like at the end when he finds out that Ollie actually isn't poor and he doesn't expose him, he like lets him have the party and he's like, don't tell my mates, like don't tell my mates, don't tell my parents. Like, are you stupid? Of course we're not going to tell my parents.
It's
Like
fucking
he's
dark
still
enough as it is.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Nice bit of exposition. Why doesn't she tell anybody? It's fucking dark enough as it is. Control Alt Save. Good stuff. And he doesn't tell anybody or doesn't anyway. We'll talk about that later. Lying about so we get the buying the round and then we're talking about the lying. And he lies that his dad's not just a drug addict, but a drug dealer.
Yeah. And then dead.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he hit his head on a pavement.
Pavement.
We'll get to that in a second. Two really bad extras at that party. The party where he just also the party where he just like goes over and is like, "Come on, lass," and slaps her on the ass and takes the woman at the party away. Even though he's been
Mini mo thing.
Yeah.
even though he's been holding Oliver's knee and kisses him goodbye. It's like, there
It
is
was a
such
very intimate kiss as well.
exactly there is such a thing as homoerotic subtext.
This isn't subtext, it's just text.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then have the balls to just go for it. Anyway, and then there's the terrible extra who's like, I know, we all want a hand job, mate. Didn't like that. And by this time, of course, he's cool, so he doesn't need his glasses anymore.
He's got
And
a chain around his neck.
Obviously.
yeah. So this is the first talking point of like, why on earth, who is Oliver Quick and what's his deal? Because he likes him and he's involved and he's like, oh, maybe he loves it, whatever. And then he's like smoking, watching him have sex. Thank God that girl was on a ground floor flat.
God, yeah.
All you've done.
And he's just in the rose bushes, smoking, watching him rail some woman. Okay, so so he likes. That's very, very, very early in the film to be like, this guy's a weirdo.
Yeah, because there's no see they don't. Yeah, this is what you mean by if you start tugging at strings, it just falls apart.
And also, bathtub cum is 45 minutes in. What's the rest of the film? Are we supposed to be like, oh yeah, he's like, because I think I might be wrong, but I think MGMT, the summer montage, everybody's having a lot of fun, is after that, and you're like, oh okay, oh no, maybe it's I don't know, but once you see,
People more for like the romance of it. Maybe everyone's like, oh, this is going to be like a romantic film.
Also, guys, can I just say, was it really that gross? Are
No.
we really saying that this is disgusting? Like, I think tugging
I've seen worse. Think about what you do when you
bad.
get a blowjob. Like, it's not that bad.
It's actually less
Like,
bad.
all these girls out here being like, oh my god, he swallowed cum. Like, bitch, come on.
Also, I just want to say this: how he ejaculated into the bath. Baths are big. He didn't actually drink any cum. He's licking bathwater
Dirty bathwater.
and the rib, pardon the pun, and the
Yeah.
rib, the rib, and he's just like, maybe a bit more. And it's like, okay, all right, I get it. Where is cologne? What we got? We're not even at Saltburn yet. The eyebrow piercing. Did that do it for you?
Oh yeah.
No. I
But
prefer to
never
without the
before,
eyebrow
never
piercing.
until this movie have I liked eyebrow piercings. And then when
I
Jacob
think you
Elordi
just
had
like
one,
Jacob Elordi, Hannah.
It's
I
just
think
Jacob
Jacob
yeah.
Lord. Yeah, it's not the
but
eyebrow.
it was like a little. Oh, I did like it a lot. I
Yeah, but it's
enjoyed
just
it.
when you get like something that your parents hate just to piss them off, isn't it?
Mm.
Like
And
there's
of
no
course,
Yeah,
real
but
Elspeth
nobody he
won't allow
does it
it.
because he takes it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he keeps his little earring in, keeps his little
Yeah, but
hoop. The hoop's hotter than the piercing, sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah.
Don't have to be sorry. Can I say something?
Of course.
His hair looks bad.
No, you're wrong.
No,
Oh, sorry.
absolutely not. The
Sorry,
messy,
sorry,
like,
sorry, I'm
broccoli.
straight.
I'm just gonna leave it with
I'm
that.
trying to join in. You can join in when I talk about how incredible Alison Oliver and Rosamund Pike look in a minute. But we're coming
I would
up.
agree.
That's the main reason to get to Saltburn. Here we are, eyebrow piercing. Oh, so then there's the thing where, sorry, Felix's breaking point is, oh, come on, mate, put some rubbish away, get out of my room, and don't talk to me again for a very, very long time. So what? He goes to the pub, and then
I mean,
he goes back to his room. He's already leathered. He goes back to his room, and one of the girls is there, and who's obsessed with Jacob Elordi, one of these one night stands or extended flings or whatever. And she's like, do you think he's going to be jealous? And he's like, to be honest, I don't think he'll fucking register. Did he think? Because also, we know later that he can be sexy and dominant and put it on. So when did he get dominant, and when did he get sexy, and when did he get any sort of, riz or whatever the kids call it? When did he get any capability to be sexy and alluring and dominant, when we see him with one woman and he's just like, nah, he'll probably forgot about you. And then suddenly, like what, a week later, he's doing the whole, you're gonna eat your food. And it's like, okay, so which is he? Is he good at sex or is he bad? I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe I think he had something to like gain from sleeping with what's her name? Venetia.
Oh, it's Venetia, yes.
And Farley and them. But I think this was just a random chick and he was drunk.
Yeah, maybe
so.
he was just like, I fancy a fuck.
Yeah.
But also, if he's so madly, madly in love with Felix to do everything that we find out later, is he even gonna touch that woman once?
Is he in love with Felix?
I don't think he's in love with Felix.
No, I think he's in
whatever
love with
he
the
is. He's
idea of what
deeply
Felix is.
obsessed.
Yeah,
He's
I
deeply
agree.
obsessed. That's the twist. It needs to be better made and better written. And the whole film, you think he's in love with Felix, and then the reveal is that actually he just wanted the house, and because it gets muddied once he starts playing with everybody and fucking Venetia and Farley and I just went everywhere. And it was like
flying.
it just gets very, very muddy, and it's still fun, but it's bad. And this is when he's like, okay, what am I gonna do? My dad's dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I also don't know, because he takes the phone call that reveals his dad is dead, like after the whole sex night thing.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm
the
just
sex
like,
night. He throws up, and then he gets a call from his
like,
mom.
was he just like in his room, like, oh, do you know what needs to happen next? My dad needs to die. Like, I just don't understand the choice.
Well, obviously that phone call
real
wasn't
phone.
actually his mum being like,
Yeah.
your dad's dead.
No,
It was
that is
just probably her being like, you okay?
Yeah, you
How's
okay?
uni?
It was.
Yeah, but why did he, like, did it pop into his idea then, or was his dad always like, was that always part of his plan? Like,
Yeah.
Maybe he was like, oh, I need to register with Felix, and I know that Felix loves a bit of trauma. So here's some trauma.
Yeah.
And then maybe his mum like mentioned his dad, and he was like, I know exactly
there's
what
the
I do.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, dad. But yeah, I do agree. I think that could have been explained a bit better.
It's just
A lot of things
it's
have been
just
explained.
lazy screenwriting, Jazz, to lead us down the path of as falling for the twist that is actually middle class. In that we, you
But
know,
also, why is like it just also the house is very he lives in a very big house.
it's
Like
also
That's
yeah.
it.
a
Can
glass house.
I don't want to like this to backfire and you two to both be like, oh no, I fell for it. But I thought it was really, really obvious that he wasn't actually poor.
Oh
And
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
From
fall
the
for that.
minute he walked onto the screen, because I'm sorry, that blazer and scarf that he's wearing and like fucking tie. Maybe that's just because I'm from Oxford. I know how expensive those things are.
I was
Mm.
gonna
I was
say,
like, oh, he's poor. He can't afford drinks. That makes no sense with what he was wearing at the beginning of the film.
It's not even
So
that.
I
Sorry,
don't
it's not
know
even
where.
that. I'm just thinking from an obviousness point of view. I just didn't. I just like saw it coming a mile away. I was just like, oh, this isn't going to be the truth.
I knew
Uh,
that something was up from the very
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, otherwise, what's the point in watching it? We're just not gonna. Oh, do you know what I really want to see a movie about? Just two guys like having a great summer and then being
Yeah,
rich.
isn't this what we said about Don't Worry, Darling? That I would much rather just watch the first half an hour.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this kind. Oh my God, this falls into Tom's favorite TV channel. The first hour or first hour and a half of Rise and Fall movies. You could have it just like the first hour and 10 minutes of this, and then it slowly fades out, and there's no sad bits. This could be good. Jealousy, wholly random. Yeah, and then the narration is completely random.
Yeah.
And he's just like pops in and then, oh, hello, I've got nice hair. How long do they? Right. So this is the big party night of all party nights at Oxford. Tuxes, big dresses. They are on that bridge throwing a rock and drinking champagne until it gets dark. They are there for hours. They don't want to go. Felix doesn't want to go and have sex with
Again,
another
this is
woman.
the argument that maybe Felix is just a good guy.
Mm.
Because you're not gonna like if he was a tosser, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, sorry mate, let's throw your rock into the river and then let's go like back." Like he would want to get
Yeah.
back, but he takes that time and that tradition to do it with him.
Yeah.
Also, the foreshadowing of the dad not really being dead because it doesn't go in the
Yeah.
bit on the nose. Like
I don't know.
Also,
I liked it.
It's his own fault for the weakest throw
shit
ever.
throw.
Okay, so then he invites him to Saltburn, and oh yeah, so and here we are. We're finally at Saltburn, and we meet Duncan, the waiter, who is sort of like Mrs.
The
Danvers.
waiter, the butler.
Butler, sorry. Are we only going to do Butler movies now, Jess? The last movie we did was
Yeah, I know.
yet to be released, but The Remains of the Day. Very different from this. But yeah, no, Duncan the butler. Jumping ahead a little bit, but no, I'm going to save that for the ending that falls apart. So and then we get the house tour, and it's all very funny. It's like, dead really, Daddy's old Teddy.
Granny goes, "Hi, Granny." Oh, I love that line.
Here's one. These sheets still have Henry VIII spunk on them. Still? I'm sorry.
You're not washing those sheets, though, are you? They've got Henry VIII spunk on them. You're not washing them. You're going to tell me if Charles came to your house and spunked on your sheets, you're washing them?
Yes. I'm burning those sheets.
Because Monica Lewinsky didn't wash her dress doesn't mean that this is a common practice. I accidentally fingered my cousin here. Yeah, sure. Accidentally.
That was horrible. I hate that.
How does one accidentally finger
How
their
does
cousin?
one?
Fuck off. But how does that happen? I want to see a film about that. That's what I
When did it come up?
Yeah. And also, how did you know your cousin? I feel like in those kind of families, you know your cousin.
Well, maybe there's just so many cousins. I don't know. Rich people, man.
Yeah.
Maybe that
Well,
was
no, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about weird sex within the rich house. Because
Okay.
it's not even a theory. Yeah, big
Venetia
time.
and Felix.
Big
Venetia
time.
and Felix.
Oh yeah, they were so weird.
The
Why was she
karaoke,
sat on his lap for
the,
most of the
karaoke,
fucking film?
the karaoke scene is absolutely bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get a drink. Yeah, me too.
You only do that with girls you fancy.
Ugh.
Maybe he was improvising and he wanted to hit on Alison Oliver. Is Jacob Elordi dating anybody?
Yeah, no, is he still with
Yeah, influencer gal.
Hero Girl? Blah blah blah.
Is that also going to affect Euphoria Series 3? That he
But
and
he's got a girlfriend.
no, that like I know they're all professional and blah blah blah, but like the fact that him and Zendaya were together for a while.
No, because they were together before season 2, and then Tom Holland visited the set of Euphoria season 2, and it was all vibes. So I think it's good.
He has been in an on and off relationship with Olivia Jade. I think she was that gal whose mum like scammed a college into getting her on the rowing team.
Oh,
That
wait,
influencer.
she's Felicity Hoffman's daughter. Who's
I
her
wanna say
mum?
yes.
Who's her mum? Felicity Hoffman or Lori Loughlin?
Hold on.
Just
What's her
press
name?
Wikipedia Blue.
It's not. She's not on Wikipedia Blue.
I'll talk about 1 minute. They're watching Superbad. What year is it? Superbad came out in 2007. Is this 2006? Is it 2005? And then
She
people
was the girl that it was her.
Yeah, it's Lori Loughlin.
Lori
Yeah.
Loughlin. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It would have been better if it was
For
Felicity
the
Hoffman.
house
So-
now.
With the timeline, it starts 2006, and then it's the
Yeah.
following summer in 2007 that they're in Saltburn.
Then why does
So,
it say
yes,
graduating
Superbad.
class of 2002? Wait, how long's the school year? At the start, doesn't it say 2002?
No, it says welcome class of 2006.
2006.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
How old would we all have been in 2006?
I would have been
6.
6.
I'd have been 5. Interesting.
Hmm.
Carry on.
Okay.
You've got a future in podcasting, Jazz. I can feel it. Let's talk about Alison Oliver, who is absolutely wonderful. What a revelation. She's funny, she's sexy, she's dark. She has the best acted scene of the entire film with the bathtub scene. I think she's absolutely excellent. I think she's a real this should certainly launch some sort of career. I think she's wonderful.
Yeah.
I think she could do anything. I see comedy chops. I see sexy chops. I see sexy chops. I don't like that. I see like dramatic chops. I think she's wonderful.
Yeah.
Very good.
Her
Very
accent was great. It was a nice turnaround from Conversations with Friends, because as much as I love that book, she was not great in that
Oh.
TV
She
show.
also looks completely different. Like
That TV
completely
show was just not
different.
great in general. Yeah,
Mm.
she looks completely different because she's got the like bleached hair. I honestly didn't recognize her for
No,
like
same.
first like 20 minutes that I was watching her, and I was like, wait,
I didn't
I know this
connect.
girl's face.
So much smoking, it's absolute. It's insane. I know it's 2006, but it's insane.
No, but it was like that in 2000.
No, I know it was, and like smoking inside when they're at that club, and he's got the cowboy hat on, and I'm like,
It's also very sexy.
well, yes, I mean,
It is.
my favorite show is Mad Men.
Especially the way that they all the way the whole family smokes is just very sexy.
I think
Elsbeth
lighting
doesn't
up in the
smoke.
middle of a dinner
Elspeth
is
doesn't
kind of
smoke.
bold. But
Does no? Does she? Does she smoke?
Elspeth.
She
I
does
feel like
smoke.
when she has the conversation with Thingy.
She smokes in the party scene later when she's got sunglasses on and she's just in the middle of the party.
Oh, she's so fabulous.
Well,
She's great.
let's talk about it right now. Let's talk about the whole family. The wonderful. We'll build up to Rosamund. We get the wonderful Richard E. Grant. I think Richard's genuinely excellent here again. I think
So good.
it starts off as he's sort of being, typical Richard E. Grant. Oh, I'm being bumbling and funny, and it is funny and it's nice. But I think the Shepherd's Pie, he's genuinely excellent.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's such a good scene.
But even better than that, I love when he's begging him to leave with the check.
Oh,
I think
it's just so good.
it is very good. This is my huge big thing, is that there is far too much that I feel is genuinely good in this film for the people who are saying that it is absolutely dog shit, one of the worst films of the year. And to be frank, there is far too much that is nonsensical, doesn't make any sense, and is bad for the people who are saying that this is, and I know that you girls said that, like, said similar when we started, but like saying that this is the best film of the year and that this is a masterpiece. Like it firmly is like 7 out of 10 for me. Like there's too many flaws, but I will not deny the entertainment. And then we get the wonderful Carey Mulligan as Pamela.
Poor dear Pamela.
Oh, Pamela.
Poor Pamela.
In the script, her name is Poor Dear Pamela every time she's in the script.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
have lots of little fun facts about this film that I've picked up. That
Good.
was one of them. All of the sound was recorded live. It wasn't put in post. So Barry slurping the bath, that's actual live Barry slurping the bath.
Real live coming straight to you on your TVs. Barry slurping the bath.
Yeah, they had to put mics in the grave to get his grunting.
But I thought that but I thought that was like closed set improv. This is the thing, isn't it? Where all of these different stories start clashing.
It was improvised, but obviously with film, improvise means you still have like 7 takes of it.
Yeah, you do several.
Yeah.
Anyway,
back to my man.
And then back to now.
Carey.
Carey Mulligan's wonderful, reprising her, not reprising any role, working with Emerald Fennell again. And then we get the wonderful Rosamund Pike, who is hilarious, dry, cutting, and has genuinely affecting emotionality. And I think she's absolutely sublime. And I think obviously this is part of the 2023 Spotlight series on the run-up to Oscar season. And I think if this film is going to get anything, it will get a possible nomination for Linus Singren for cinematography. I think the huge push of it going viral and everybody seeing it. This is the thing. Not everybody has seen Killers of the Flower Moon. Whatever you want to talk about ethical wise, Jazz, it is a very well made film, but it's 3.5 hours about genocide. Same thing with The Zone of Interest, which is I'm watching it this Sunday, but that is your typical. It's one of the best films of the year. It's about a Nazi family living on the house adjacent to Auschwitz. You're not just going to throw it on. Anybody can throw on Saltburn. It's gone viral. Everybody loves Murder on the Dance Floor again. It's got TikToks. Everybody's running around Murder on the Dance Floor. It's sexy. It's fun. Everybody loves Jacob Elordi. Anybody can watch Saltburn. And I think because of that, it could, even if I don't think it actually deserves it, it could get a nomination for Best Original Screenplay. And it could get a nomination for Rosamund. She's been nominated in a lot of precursors, and she could sneak in for Best Supporting Actress. I don't think it's going to get anything else, but I think it could sneak in on those 3 categories.
I wouldn't be mad at any of those either.
No, and I think Rosamund genuinely deserves it. Like, she is amazing. Jaw drop. Like, every scene she's in, I'm just enjoying it. Like, that bit before the party where she's like, orchid. What is she talking about?
It's like she doesn't like orchids.
She's insane, and she makes it look good. I just love it.
Incredible moment, because everybody. I mean, you've already done it, and it's understandably wonderful. Like everybody's does. It's already a TikTok. It's already whatever. Oh, I used to be a lesbian. Men are so wonderful and dry. It's very funny and it's great, and everybody loves. She'll do anything for attention. It's very funny, and these are immediate memes and these are immediate gifs, and I will send them all my life. But I love her in the karaoke scene when everybody realizes what Rent is about. And I realized straight away the minute the synth started, because it's one of my favorite songs. Great song. Love the Pet Shop Boys. And I was like, I love you. And her face, silent on the couch. Beautiful. Astoundingly effective. Anyway, she's very, very good. Speaking of beautiful gowns, Aretha Franklin, beautiful gowns. Who was that about? Taylor Swift? Or was it about Ariana Grande?
Could be about either of them. They both have great.
She was like,
gowns.
Somebody asked Aretha Franklin in an interview, was like, what do you think about Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande? And she was like, gowns, beautiful gowns. It's very, very good. Right. Oliver looks miserable all the time. I agree with Farley. Like, it looks like he wants to throw himself out of a window. I was like, yeah, I agree. You look fucking miserable, and yet you're obsessed and you want to be part of Saltburn. You want to be part of this family. You look miserable all the time. And also, it's a little bit like, I'm trying to think of an example. I can't. I don't understand why everybody wants him around all the time. Like,
Because he's fun and exciting thing to them.
to them, sure, but he's
Mhm.
not like fun or funny. Like,
No.
I'm only going to do it a couple of times. Tom Ripley is interesting and funny and dry and clever and is intoxicating and is charismatic with his intelligence and his wit and his repartee. And whereas Oliver, he just sits there and he's just miserable. He's just like, oh yeah, and then and the only time he turns on is when he's got one of them alone, and then he's just like, yeah, you look fit. I'm like, what? Well, he doesn't say that. He doesn't say that, but he's like,
Quite what he says.
he's like, yeah, I bet hard for Venetia because you're so fucking beautiful. I was like, oh, all right. First time we've spoken half an hour. But like, it was like,
He
why?
does do a lot of just like sitting and staring, doesn't he?
Yeah,
And yet I still love him. Barry Keoghan is just amazing. I love him.
It's all
Oh,
the lesbian memes about him for me. I
Oh,
love
yes,
yeah.
very
His
They're
little
great.
slutty waist out. He makes all the
Yeah.
men dig around him. I love it.
Yes, it's wonderful. Not as wonderful. Speaking of fashion sense, Rosamund's beautiful blue dinner dress is one of the best dresses I've seen in a very long time. It's lovely and flowing, and it's very nice. Whereas Pamela's like Wednesday Addams thing,
Clown.
I don't know what that looks.
Looks
And
like
then
a
we get,
clown.
and then we get. We'll talk about this a little bit leading into, because we've talked all this time, and yet we're not talked about. And I think this is the first. No, we have talked about the bastard. And then we get Venetia at the fountain, and she's like, "Oh, I'm outside. Hello. Oh, look at me. Do you want to have sex with me?" And you're so real. And I was like, "Okay, all right, interesting." So
That's it. That's all you wanted to say.
well, I don't know. What so she's like
you.
she's like into him or what?
Again, I think it's the same with like how Felix feels. He's just like fascinating and
Well,
like
she is
different to people else around
sexually
him.
incontinent. She gives it away for free.
That's a very funny line. God.
We
I feel
haven't
like we've
talked
not
about.
spoken
Oh, sorry, go
about Farley. We need to mention Archie Madekwe. He is
Yes.
so. I just want to look at him all the time. Like every time he's on screen, I can't. He's amazing. Like I think every actor in this movie is just sublime.
He's very good. Really stupid part at the
Mm.
beginning in the opening shot when he's got the scarf and his glasses and everything,
Yeah.
and he walks past and he's like, "Nice glasses." And I was like, "Why?
Mhm.
Why does he hate him straight away?" We need him.
He doesn't say nice glasses. He says nice jacket.
Oh, sure, but he's mean.
Oh, he's making
isn't
fun
he?
of him because he showed up in uniform, didn't he? When
Yeah.
everyone else didn't.
No, I get it, but like, why did that have
Because
to be?
Farley's a
Why did
dick.
that?
I think, yeah, they're
Yes,
just
I
trying
know,
to
but
be like, this character is a dick. But then also, is he the only one that can really see what's going on?
Mm.
he's just like Jazz against Paul on The Traitors. Is anybody watching The Traitors?
No, I want to binge watch it when it's all out.
Sorry, just ruined one thing. Um,
I have no idea what it means.
Um,
Is it good? It's as good as the first season?
didn't watch the first series, but this is good.
Okay.
Breakfast, the wonderful Ayoeda Derbe. She is absolutely hilarious on Twitter and everything. And on her letterbox, she said, "My guy did all of this and he can't eat runny eggs." which
Oh, I
in many
love it.
ways may be funnier than anything in the film. But
She's so good. All of her letterbox make me giggle.
Top tier.
God. I want to date her so bad.
she's wonderful. No,
Anyway.
she's wonderful. Did you watch Bottom, Sana?
No, I haven't yet. Is it even out in cinema?
Yes.
Is it on Amazon?
It came and went.
No, not yet.
It came and went. I'm sure that it's already been in and out of English cinemas.
No, you're saying.
The long and short of it is that it's one of the films of the year. It's currently in my let's do this before we take our second break. Because where are we? Films of 2023. Bottoms is currently number 4. I currently have Saltburn at 14.
Okay.
Right,
Are you gonna
change.
move it?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
This
feel
is
like it could be up there with in the like maybe number 10.
well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
What's
Well,
wait, you could say number 1. I forgot though.
no, December.
Oh yeah. Good for
I'm insecure. Insecure people are frightening.
that fucking last bit ruins the whole
Boy,
freaking
can you
thing.
stop? Because I haven't seen this film.
I firmly disagree on your point there. Why? Sorry,
No, it
we
just
talk
makes
about
it feel a bit
Saltburn. We talk about
cringy.
Saltburn for 25 minutes, and then you're like throwing in hot takes about the best films of the year. And then when we've got
But it's
two
cringy. You can't deny that last scene is a bit cringy.
for complete purpose.
Yeah, I know, but it still gives me the ick. It's like when you get the egg ick. It's like, oh yeah, it's nice on the plate of the full breakfast, but like it's icky.
Like Barry Keoghan in Saltburn, we're going to take a break. Okay, where did we leave off? I've got here Harry Potter. Last year,
Harry Potter.
We didn't get to that.
I think that's probably the most effective part of all the scene setting is that they're all reading Deathly Hallows.
Mm,
That
Yeah.
works.
yeah. I like that. That was good.
I don't know why I mentioned
Also,
that.
the conversation of do we think they're all like shagging?
Yeah.
Do we?
That was a fun little.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Well,
Because
yeah,
are they all shagging? Question
I think
mark.
we should. They could have added a threesome to
What,
Harry
to-
Potter.
Yeah.
I think we should let J.K. Rowling rewrite those books and see what she adds, just for fun.
Everyone
Didn't know
would
if it'd be
buy
good
it.
or bad.
Yeah. Voldemort is pure evil. He tried to get into a different toilet.
Oh God.
She probably should do something.
You know, I think she needs to just like stay at home and like not go on Twitter.
I don't think it can be underestimated. I mean, obviously, you know, we could look at any, you know, Weinstein or anything like that. But like, in what world are you one of the most important and revered people ever, and then just choose to torpedo your career on one stupid little argument that you feel?
Like she could have held those views and then just like publicly apologized, just been like, yeah, I'm sorry. But then like personally, she could have been like, I'm still a transphobe. But like
Or just
she
not
was
say
like, yeah, I'm
anything,
gonna
just-
double down on this.
Anyway, enough about Joanne. No trunks in the field. Right, okay.
Mm.
This is one of my incest things to pick up on. Is Venetia naked there?
Yes,
They're all
she is.
naked, yeah.
They're all. She's like slightly
weird.
further away from them. They've got like a little grass, but it's still odd.
It's still odd. And also, so many lovely grass fields. Why do they choose the thistle-bound barley
Yeah.
field? What is that? And it's not to
Also,
hide
who
anything.
wants to be naked in a field? Like I just
Exactly.
it's
Think
just
about all the grass sitting in the wrong parts, and no.
They say, and Venetia is on her front.
yeah. So she's
Yeah.
just all up in the
Full
thistles.
on. No one wants thistles in those places. No one.
Thessalonian missile. Yeah, and then they're playing tennis, and it's all summer, and it's lovely, and they're
I'm
playing
sorry, her playing
MGMT.
tennis in that outfit, the pink, like metallic outfit and the heels,
Loved it.
an icon. I love that. Oh, it's
I
so
loved
good.
it.
Yeah.
I would be the person, of course, who says, who keeps real score, though.
Oh yeah.
Also, the you know, again, there's subtext, and then there's Barry Keoghan getting on his knees and Jacob Elordi putting a champagne bottle in front of his crotch, and then Barry Keoghan just downing it. There's subtext, and then there's that.
There's subtext and then there's text. Yeah.
And then, the bit where he's like talking about the crockery, and he's like, "Oh, those ancient palace balls that," and then page flip.
He's just been reading books on old plates so that he can have what common ground with the dad in it.
Sure. Sure. Again, he's like, oh, is he clever? Is he driven by sex? Is he in love with him? Is he the smartest man that's ever lived and planned every single inch?
The thing is, you don't have to be that smart to infiltrate that family, though, do you?
No, they're kind of stupid. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, it doesn't work, and he has to wait 10 years. Anyway,
Exactly.
we'll talk about that later. That's such a bad. Look, lots of people get lost in Saltburn. Duncan the waiter. Okay, so there we go. We are 1 hour.
Waiter again,
Butler.
Butler. Allow him his proper title.
We are an hour into this film. Did either of you see this in the cinema?
No.
And you know what? I'm so glad because
Yeah,
I
same.
had to pause multiple times when the cringe was coming. It was the egg scene. I was like, I'm pausing. I need to walk away. When Felix drove him to his parents' house, pause, walk away. The grave scene, fast forward. I can't be doing that in the cinema. Sorry. Absolutely not.
I was in the cinema, and it's the first time I've ever had a walkout.
Oh.
What? Really?
And it was at the bathtub, yeah. And a guy just literally just got up, grabbed his bag, and just left.
He couldn't handle the slurping.
Couldn't handle the slipping. Little did he know what was to come. But like, I think there is something about that. You know, there is something to be said about a film that is this commercial and this is this big budget and has this many famous people in it, having genuinely, as much as I'm a pervert and have seen everything and seen far worse, you know, having something genuinely shocking and affecting. Because no matter whether you're on the side that it's shock for the sake of shock and she's just playing Mad Libs, drink semen, period, oral sex, grave sex, or whether you genuinely think that these are effective choices. There is something to be said for in a modern, I mean, also, I think it's the opposite. I think we're a lot more puritanical. It's gone the opposite way. Like, I don't think we need to spend 5 minutes here doing a sex scene discourse, but like, everyone was like, oh my God, so many sex, and it's just barely any sex in it. Poor Things as well. That's got a lot of sex in it. I don't know. We had a couple of.
After Bridgerton, like you can't. Do you know what I mean?
I still haven't watched Bridgerton.
I mean, I recommend, but I wouldn't say that Bridgerton is the. I feel like I have watched so many of Lars von Trier's films that I am not fazed by anything whatsoever. I think if you watch Nymphomaniac or you watch Antichrist and you are fazed by somebody slurping cummy water, then I don't know what you were watching because you see way worse in those films. Like, I cannot get over Antichrist and Willem Dafoe. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. But yeah, so I do agree that we have got more puritanical, but I don't think people like watch any sort of subversive cinema if that's the opinion that they have.
It's well, people, I saw the tweet the other day. It was like, Saltburn's weird for people who don't watch weird movies. It's like when people were talking about WandaVision and they were like, it's really experimental. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's calm down, please. And this is the thing, that scene is back to back with oh no, sorry, I want to talk about this. They share a bathtub. You just gonna jack off in a shared bathtub? What if he knocks?
Yeah, you didn't even check the doors were closed, my guy.
Didn't check the doors were closed. And also, they've not officially gone to bed yet because then 5 seconds, well, as we see, night, mate, have a nice night. Yeah, brushing his teeth.
I feel like there's just something to say for like bros who don't really care. Do you know what I mean?
Bros will let other bros check off.
Yeah. I feel like
like
sometimes men are close enough to like acknowledge it.
Maybe you told him. Give me 5 minutes.
I feel like it's a different story for women because I feel like it's not that like we're aware that the other person is doing that, but like
it's
there's
happening.
times when you're like, okay, we're both gonna go, okay, cool. So like, I don't know if men have that same like closeness and just like acknowledging like,
No, we don't.
Okay.
I can tell you now, we don't.
You don't.
Maybe
Well,
you
don't.
don't, but I
it's
feel like
very
other guys
sensitive.
do.
Yeah, I feel like that's a thing.
Because like girls do it. Like
Yeah.
we're like, I'm not gonna lie, like I've lived with a lot of girls. Me and Hannah have lived together. We both one night just went, yeah. and went up to our rooms on the other side of the apartment and did what needed to be done.
You know, the other day, Jazz, when we talked about the possibility of living together, is this what it's going to be like?
No.
At 8 o'clock, we're going to be like, Great British Bake Off's on at
Tom.
8. Yeah, good night.
No.
Do you want to watch Great British Bake Off's at 8? Sorry, you
How
know, it's
loud
Wednesday.
is your vibrator, Tom, in this scenario?
You're acting like it's gonna like shake the whole house.
Yeah. No, it was a very specific day. We'd watched a very specific event. So
Event?
that was why.
Oh,
Oh, I
you
still
went.
dream.
I know. You went and trying to think of a joke. Think of a joke, Tom. Think of a joke. Think of a joke. Think
No,
of a
you know
joke.
what? Let's stop talking about our sex lives, Let's go back. And I think Felix was valid for doing what he did.
Oh, I'm not.
Sometimes you need to jack off in the bathtub while
I
you make
agree.
sex.
Maybe he's a voyeur. Maybe he likes the idea of being watched.
Also, this is TMI. Bathtubs aren't the same for men. There is more motion, and it doesn't work. I have found it doesn't work.
There is more. Well, yeah, the motion of the water be sloshing everywhere.
Yeah, it's like,
It'll be like when you're like a kid and you like want to kind of low-key go swimming in the bath, so you kind of like make it into a what's it
Like
called?
a wave pool, yeah.
Yeah, a wave pool.
But it's not like that,
That's
is
what I'm
it? It's
picturing.
like splash, 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 splash. Especially when
Maybe it's a very deep bathtub, so I'm thinking it's all under the water.
Yeah,
you women,
because it
you
is-
women have it so nice because it's like it's just gentle, and you can and
You know
also
what? We don't need to talk about this.
it's so much better for you. We're just go and we're.
We are less messy, I will say that, which is nice,
I wasn't
But
making.
also things can get like I would never. Okay, no, I'm not going to enter this conversation.
This is an incredible tangent.
What I'm gonna say is things get stuck up there. Like, do you know what I mean? And like bath water and it's dirty. That's a UTI risk. Sorry.
Yeah, no, nobody. I don't know women who are jacking off in the bath.
No,
Let's be honest.
women wouldn't.
With men, maybe. Wash it
No,
down the
it's not. It's not a thing. Shower. Anyway.
There's no shower though in this bathroom. There is no shower, so
True.
they can
Maybe
only
they're
wash.
forced to
Okay.
take bath.
Henry VIII, they can't wash any of the sheets because Henry VIII once slept there either. Incredibly, that took 10 minutes. So let's spend another 10 minutes on the next scene. Right. This is the big thing, is that everybody keeps talking about, oh, it's so shocking. Oh, it's so shocking. And they're really not well spaced out. They're back to back without, there's bathtub, scene outside with Rosamund.
Vampire scene.
And then vampire. So
Yeah.
and so we have bathtub, and it's like first quote unquote crazy moment, whatever you want to call it. Then we have the first scene where he turns it on with Elsbeth, and he's like, oh yeah, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, so now he's a genius. Now he's a Iago, and then it's the vampire scene, and suddenly it's just such a sudden shift. And then he's just, like, oh, you're gonna eat your food. Mm.
And then she doesn't as well. She's like, no, actually, I'm good.
Well, no, she does, and she's in.
She goes and throws it up.
Exactly, but that is after she sees Felix come and sit down,
Yeah.
because she's into it, and then
he's like, Felix.
it gives her a croissant, and she's like, oh, you know what? He gives her a croissant. She's not finished the Fruit Loops. One at a time, my guy. Okay, we get it, but just let her finish the Fruit Loops. And then it's and she's like smiling or whatever, and she's like, and then Felix comes and sits down and looks visibly pissed off, and that's when she's like, oh, here we go again. Anyway, and that's when she leaves. Okay, so Lucky if you have a vampire. Did any of you watch Fair Play?
No.
It was very, very good. Phoebe Dynevor was very good.
It is on my to watch list.
I liked it. I really enjoyed it. And not really a spoiler because it's the first 5 minutes. Same thing. He not intentionally, but he come down, Anna. and goes down. He goes down, and then also, I'm sorry. Now we're talking about fair play, but he's like down there for 2 minutes, and then he comes back up and kisses her, and then there's blood then all over the dress. You can taste the difference. It's not like Tesco's. Anyway, please.
You can taste the difference. Okay.
And he's just like, oh, you look like you killed a chicken. Anyway, how within the space of 3 months is there 2 movies with period oral sex? What are the odds of that?
People just knew it was sexy and they were like, I need to put this in a movie.
Is it sexy?
Yes. Do you not think?
Jazz, don't kink. Jazz, no kink shaving.
I'm
No,
not
it's
kink
not like
shaming.
a kink. I just think I watched an interview with Emerald where she was like, it's just hot when somebody is like, I don't care. Like,
Yeah,
this is
sure, yeah.
your
Okay.
most like natural
Maybe
state.
maybe I'm just too like clean, like not clean because periods aren't dirty, but like I don't know, I just don't like the idea of it. Also, like I don't know, all the other things that you've got going on in your period, I wouldn't feel very sexy in that moment.
It
But if
helps
I'm
Also-
go for it, girl.
Also, I don't know if she knew it was going to happen or not, but she's wearing a see-through white dress.
Yeah.
presumably no underwear and no like tampon, no nothing, just free bleed. So a bit bold, but you know,
Bold.
for her.
That is very bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, she's going to need some bold.
No, as well. She clearly wasn't,
Yeah, he's clearly, yeah. Also, I'm sorry, and they've managed to pick the one concrete bench directly outside Farley's window, and he's just sat there, literally on his front, legs in the air. You
Kicking his feet
stupid boy.
I don't know. Like, I love that. Like, how stupid do you have to be? Come on now.
It's lucky for you, I'm a vampire.
That
Oh,
was quite good.
thank you. I think it's time that because I think she comments on this, I think it's time that we really read the official statement from Miss Rhian Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Rhian
let's do a
Holmes,
voice.
official statement. Okay, you want me to do Rhian's voice?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been working on this, so this should be. How does it? Okay, here we go. Make time with Oliver Quick. You must have known
Okay,
that
you
was
know what?
coming.
No.
My time with Oliver Quick and the Cashin family was a whirlwind, and the social media uproar, both positive and negative, has seated it firmly in my consciousness ever since. It's certainly not free of issues. And they're entirely plot-based, in my opinion. I spent the majority of the film thinking I was going to witness Oliver's corruption arc. The story of a downtrodden working-class boy beguiled by a rich family, and as the tagline suggests, getting lost in Saltburn, becoming obsessed and doing everything he can do to hold on to this life of luxury. Perhaps Emerald Fennell thought this conceit was too easy, or understandably didn't want to paint the poor Pearson as the villain in the story. However, I felt by having the double plot twist of Oliver living a very comfortable lifestyle and planning his takeover of Saltburn from the beginning, is he planning it from the beginning? Took away a lot of the tension for me. I felt cheated out of any of his character development, and the psychosexual obsession element seemed suddenly misplaced. To quote a review from the Polyester podcast, you don't drink the cummy bathwater of someone you're just interested in for their money. All this being said, I still found the film incredibly compelling. The pacing was dynamic, the visuals were stunning, and there was not a weak performance across the board. It deals in the Gothic very well. Sublime settings, sex as power, family dysfunction, and of course, murder. While still feeling fresh and contemporary, these combined with the action, while completely absurd, only heightened its iconicism for me. I don't think it should win Best Picture, but would happily see Barry Keoghan take home Best Actor. When she wrote that eloquent 400 words, do you think she imagined us talking for 20 minutes about it?
Not about our personal sex lives, I don't think. But you know, here we are.
Well,
Anyway.
at least we've got some class. Rhian dropped some class.
Rhian brings the class. That's why we've descended into chaos.
Planning. So then we plan the dinner and the birthday. Okay, so right,
Mhm.
this is my big thing. How do none of his lies catch up with him? So he now then lies to. Oh, it's just poor. It's just poor form, mate, isn't it? You know, it's just poor form. And he's like, then he's like, so he lies to Felix. How does this never get back to Archie? How does Felix Archie
Farley.
Farley? How does Felix not then go to Farley and say, "What the fuck, mate? Why did you lie?" Oliver says that he just tried to that she tried to kiss him and then she pushed her off. Why would you lie, mate? Why would you lie?
Do boys actually communicate? Is the real question.
Yeah, I feel like once something goes into a man's head, it doesn't stay there for very long.
The problem was the problem with the film was that we didn't see anything go inside a man's head.
God. Also, I'm pretty sure like Oliver at one point goes, "Oh, can you even trust Farley? Like he's always spreading shit." So
That is true. He is known as a bit of a gossip. So
Oliver Felix says, "Oh, what a little Farley, what a little shit starer." Lying about Venetia. And then Venetia at the dinner is just like, one of his, and she does the whole gets tired of his toys speech. I was like, all right, sure. And this is where I
get tired of his toys.
And
but
this is
also,
where,
why are you one of his toys? You're his sister. Incest.
Exactly. This is the big thing, because it is this night that is then karaoke night where she's all over him and they go and disappear. I just throwing it out there. I think she makes a move or something that night to be like, yeah, well, it's cruel. I think somewhere behind the scenes is cruel intentions.
Yeah, fully.
Oh, Sarah Michelle Gellar. The karaoke scene. So it's very funny. He does apple bottom jeans. Ha ha ha.
And then we get Archie Madekwe absolutely smashing Rent.
He does come in. There was
restaurant.
Right. I just want to my knowledge, the premise of karaoke is that you pick a song and you sing that song. And I actually sound like Richard E. Grant here unintentionally. That's the best part. The words are on the screen. But you have to know the melody of the song. And I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh, I know all the Pet Shop Boys singles. But Rent is not like an incredibly well-known song prior to this film. Did either of you know it?
This film was my introduction to that song.
Yeah. So I do think Farley is the one that puts it on for him. So
yes, I know. But then he comes up and he's like, you dress me up. I need it. You buy me food. I want it. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. And he's like, and then and it takes him so long to realize. I mean, the first lines are, you buy me food, I eat. Oh no, it's not the first lines, but like,
it takes him a bit, doesn't it?
I think one of the first.
Rent. What?
Yeah.
You dress me up. I love it. I mean, come on, play the game. And look at that Rent. What a great song. I love Duncan just in the background holding the karaoke book. Should we bring back karaoke?
It's never been gone.
No, I know.
I love karaoke. I took my entire family to a karaoke bar on holiday.
We've never karaoke'd anywhere.
Yeah, but do we voluntarily go out with each other? No.
just us three.
Oh, you're bloody like we have karaoke'd at the Alma.
Oh yes, I hosted a karaoke night for months.
You used to host it. You should remember.
I did.
Freaking idiot.
It was a long time ago. In many ways.
In a lot of ways.
Really effective moment is when Oliver smashes the mirror and then the next morning it's a normal mirror. I thought that was really good. And like, I'm not one of these people who, I'm sure there's a TikTok fan account of like, is the room really haunted? Is it all a dream? But it's obviously just like incredible wealth and they can just put in a mirror or something.
That's what I took from it. Either that or he just like didn't actually smash it Huge
Yeah.
This is also the night of this was sexy. Fuck Chuck kill Richard III, and he's doing all this bullshit Farley stuff, and he's just being, oh fucking Farley, you're so annoying. And then why don't you just fuck me? And that was good. And then the silhouetting, and then the silhouette, and very funny. This got an audible laugh in the cinema. Are you going to behave? No. Very.
That was good.
It's like he's like, did you want me to? I
Yeah.
don't know.
People, if people had more fun with Oscar clips, and they should, and actually, and how do you pronounce Medeke?
Madekwe, yeah.
Madekwe. And people had more fun with Oscar clips, and Madekwe was nominated, which he isn't going to be, and probably shouldn't be. That should be his clip. No. People should have more fun. This is my goal, and this is why I like Saltburn, and don't understand people who hate it. People need to have more fun. What's the meme? Whatever happened to having fun?
What's the meme?
It's my new podcast. I'm launching a new podcast. And then we have probably the funniest moment in the scene in the film, which is when Rosamund Pike talks about being part of the Britpop scene and how they common people.
Yeah, that was so good. I've never wanted to know anything.
Yeah, she was from Greece, and thirst for knowledge. And then obviously the great capper on that scene is Pamela died. Oh yeah, she'd do anything for attention. Very, very funny. But this is obviously where Farley gets thrown out of the house because he emailed Summerbiz about a plate. Sure. And
we
again,
all knew though that he didn't actually.
Exactly. This is where the twist doesn't work. If you want to do it as a twist, have Farley see Oliver see how long does it take to open up Final Draft and have a moment interior grand hallway. Oliver watches from afar as Farley slips into his pocket a book. And then we have that seed in the back of our heads of like, oh, actually, Farley does steal things from time to time. Because that's not unbelievable that he'd steal a spoon, or something. And then it makes the email to Summerbiz more believable. Again, if you want to do this twist, make it a twist.
Yeah.
Also, it just shows back up at the end. Was that ever explained? Did I miss something?
He says he does a whole speech that he is like, oh yeah, they invited me. I'll always come back. I'll always. And then also, bringing up coke is enough to have him disappear from the family forever. Like for 30 years, he never.
Oh, it was because Felix died from a coke overdose.
Yeah, well, that's what they said it was.
Well, yeah,
but also, we don't know if Felix got his coke from Farley.
Yeah, but I think that was like
no, it's just planting the seed, isn't it? But
yeah.
It's like racking up reels. Again, that was another one where the accent disappeared. Racking up reels. She clearly. Oh, and then here we go. So then it's birthday boy, and he surprises him, and he drives him up to Prescott. It's like, wow, mate, she's really cleaned up her act. We are supposed to believe that this man is an incredible psychotic genius, and he doesn't just like, I don't know, dive out of the car or just like really put the acting on and grab him.
Mate, I just don't want to go there. I don't want to go. It's like, come on, if you're that clever, you could find a way to not end up at the house.
Grab his face and just be like, please, and start crying or something. Or make up you've already lied about your dad hitting your head on a pavement. Lie and just say, she tried to kill me when I was a little boy. She needed to stab me for some money or something. Just make up another lie. You always lie. So why not just make up that she took a load of heroin and the house nearly burned down. I nearly died. I don't know where she is. Oh no, because he's been caught out. Oh, if he's such a clever genius, he leaves his phone out where his mum rings. And also, Felix picks up the phone and he's like, hello, who is this? Who is this? Are you heroin mum? Oh, wonderful. Oh, it's his birthday. You want to see him? Oh, you don't sound... She really sounded like she cleared up her life, mate. It was like, yeah, obviously. But
I
yes.
hated that scene so much that I had to pause the film and step away for a full day, and then come back to it.
He's just
So
sat there also just shaking like an absolute idiot. And I know he's riddled with anxiety because he's been caught out, but he's just like, please, can I go? And I was like, play it cool. You're a genius. Why not just play it cool and then say, I lied. And then afterwards, spend that time thinking, I lied. That's my stepdad. You know,
yeah,
or anything.
God, yeah. I mean, where's the Riz gone? Like, bring back the
Exactly.
Riz.
Yeah.
You're a
And
vampire.
he
Yeah.
just spends the entire party just like dweebing after him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it becomes just like a little dweeb. So and then we launch fully into the party. The party looks great, great vibes. Um, and
So it really irked me. Sorry, this is like something that's irked me since I watched the film. So they were like, "Ooh, we should do fancy dress," but they never mention a theme.
they
But then
do,
it's
they do
very.
Midsummer Nights.
Yeah,
No,
they
they do.
do.
They do
Do
say
they actually mention it? Because even when I was watching it the second time, I don't remember them like mentioning a theme.
she
It's
says
Midsummer.
Midsummer Night's Dream, and then Farley says, "Bring on the slutty fairies." Mm.
Oh God,
Yeah, and
clearly
he's
I
like,
was
oh,
not
I
paying
can wear my
attention.
full set of armor.
Yeah. Oh. But
Yeah, I
also,
got
which
that.
is
I
yeah,
thought that was just like fancy dress moment.
yeah.
But obviously it was very like midsummer themed. Though who Ollie was supposed to be, you don't know.
It's just like
Mine it up.
Is he meant to be Puck, maybe?
Puck doesn't
Oh
have
no.
anyway. Um, and then again, right? So party, great song. Oh, I really like this song. The whole 5, 6, 7, do if you want some more. That was good.
Yeah.
And then who is the elderly man in the coke room? Who's just like, who is that?
Yeah, I was like, why is Felix hanging out with this random old guy?
God. There's
And
so many
then-
randoms at that party, bro.
And then everybody's getting laid. Venetia's looks like she's going to get some. Duncan looks like he's going to get some. Elspeth's having a great time. And then, so again, Felix pulls somebody into the maze for sex. And he's just like, Felix. It's like, oh my God.
The way he interrupts it as well. Like why he watches for so long and then like you think he's waiting for it to be over, but then he still interrupts while they're in the middle of having sex. And you're like, okay, well, why were you waiting then?
And also, according to the flashbacks later, he has already poisoned the bottle by this time. So he poisons the bottle and then he storms in and he's just like, Felix. I was like, oh my, get a grip. Where has he got poison from? Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
It's not poison, it's Coke.
He just poured a bottle of Coke into a champagne bottle.
Yeah.
That's
I
what he
don't know
did.
how drugs work, okay?
I thought he put poison in it.
No, it's a bag of Coke that he pours in there.
Does Coke have that effect when you
I
drink
think if you
it?
take too much of it, you die.
Because
I
also
don't
he makes
know.
himself sick afterwards. Like, surely only having a sip of that would just give you a little buzz. But like, obviously, if you drank the whole thing, yeah, you're gonna die. Are
I
we
don't
sure
know.
it's not poison?
Yeah.
Well,
Also,
it was
how
a baggie of white powder.
also how immediately acting is the poison, because he needs to die within like 10 seconds of drinking it, because there's no way that Felix isn't like, oh, what the fuck, and then leaves the maze. Also, there's no way that he doesn't storm out of the maze before. Anyway, and we
So
get
many
this.
questions.
We get this big scene, and it attempts to be the Talented Miss Ripley boat
Yeah, no,
scene.
it's
You're a
poison.
leech. It's
God,
poison.
yeah.
Sorry, Hannah, it's poison.
I don't agree, but okay, fine.
And then we get the big reveal. Oh my God, he's dead. Lots of
Oh, when
reviewers.
Richard's
Oh,
trying to
God.
wake him up,
That was
he's
very
like, "Come
sad.
on, my boy,
My
it's
heart.
cold. Put a coat on." Like,
That broke my heart because the dad
it was
just
giving.
like
You know what it's
child.
giving? Cedric in the maze. Cedric, in Harry Potter.
My
He's
boy.
like, "My boy."
It's also giving Dead Poet Society. Neil, Neil,
Oh,
Neil, my
Okay,
boy.
I haven't watched that film, so can we take a pause on that?
Sorry, somebody dies in a maze and at
Yeah,
a big
stop.
party. It's not true. um, and then we get the big shepherd's pie scene, which was really the moment for me where I was like, oh no, Emerald Fennell has leveled up. Like, because I know you were talking about the vibes of Promising a Woman, but I do think there was moments in that were just genuinely just weren't directed well, and it sort of had a clawing quality to it and a sort of like this neon thing, and it just didn't work for me. Whereas I genuinely think the Shepherd's Pie scene is incredibly well directed, edited. We haven't mentioned Linus Sandgren's name yet, the cinematographer of this film. I think it is genuinely, without a doubt, one of the best looking films of the year. And I think a lot of people are sort of writing it off because it is sort of quote unquote trashy, campy, pulpy schlock. But I think the Shepherd's Pie scene is excellent. I think everybody's excellent in it, even if it's, I mean, you know, everybody grieves in different ways. I'm not judging anybody, but like, you know, it's a great image, Venetia pouring out that entire bottle of wine, but come on. And Rosamund's excellent. I know everybody. I know it's nitpicky. And then you know we manages to get rid of Farley, and then we get grave sex.
Yeah,
And he's sobbing, and nobody sees.
It's very long.
Pardon the pun. I did enjoy the length.
I
think
understand why they did it, but I was like, okay, but like I'm tired of watching this.
But it felt it did. That was the one that felt like shock for the sake of shock. Like, also, he then is later. He's just like, I hated all of you, and I was like, I'm sorry,
Just fucks grave.
Sorry, yeah. Why? I'm sorry. What? Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about this before our third and final break, and then we will conclude. A lot of people in critical opinion are saying that the people who like the film, even the people who love it, are saying that it really drops off and gets slower once Elodie dies. And did you find that? I personally didn't find that. I don't know.
I don't know if the scene lengths just get longer. Like that's what I really felt. Like we have a really long grave scene. We have Alison Oliver's monologue, which is really, really long.
Yeah.
And then we have
Shepherd's Pie's long.
Shepherd's Pie's really long, yeah. So I think the scene lengths just tend to get longer. It's not as snappy. But I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily.
No, I know. I don't know.
I think people just have really short attention spans. So
well, yes.
yeah.
I just felt like it. I felt the opposite. I felt like it sped up and got longer at the same time because they really started dropping like flies.
Oh god.
Yes. Yes, I agree, Jazz. I think because obviously we want to keep this. I just think there's a better way to kill Venetia, maybe, or
I hated
maybe
that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
he
didn't
killed
make
her
any
by
sense.
putting the razor blades by the bed and by the bar.
like, how did he know that she was going to do that?
He didn't. It's stupid.
Yeah.
He did. Also, just if he's doing everything and he's, you know, we see him poisoning, why not see him just slit her wrists?
Yeah.
But also, then it wouldn't work because there'd be signs of struggle because she wasn't that drunk. It really is stupid. And also, his master plan is to then lose, quote unquote, lose, and then wait. What, 10 years
10
is it until
something like that.
Richard E. Grant dies of a heart attack?
He waits until like after COVID because all the people in the cafe have masks.
Maybe that's why.
I didn't even notice that, and I watched it twice.
Maybe he was
When I
just
was
really
second time,
health
that's when I
conscious.
realised.
Maybe he was really health conscious and following the government guidelines. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do anything. It's just really stupid. They needed a better way to kill Venetia. And they needed, for me personally, a way for him to be involved in Richard E. Grant's death.
Yeah, otherwise it's just like he killed like 2 of them and got rid of one.
It's
I
like,
want to see Farley's revenge story. That's what
Farley.
I want.
What happens to Farley? What happens to Duncan?
Yeah, how does Duncan feel about it?
This man dancing naked around his house, he would hate it.
Duncan's fired. Duncan's been fired, surely.
Oh, sure, but like, I feel like he'd
is,
want to go in and protect Saltburn.
That's the
I
twist.
want to see a movie about that.
Yeah, that's the twist. Is that it's something Duncan's. All of my life, I've catered for these people.
Mm.
Maybe that's like it's a film crying out for an actual twist, because this certainly isn't one. Or, I don't know. Or maybe I don't know. Or is the ending where the butler did it? Shit. Is there a world where because we love the camp of it, we love the excess of it, we love him dancing around with his wang out. Is the remote is an ending with a twist not about
Wang.
yeah. And we're going to speak about it in after our third and final break as we and conclude discussing Saltburn. Lots to talk about. That's the best. That's refreshing.
Mhm.
It's not just what was bad recently. I'll have a think.
Okay.
Jean-Luc Godard once said, no, it wasn't Jean-Luc Godard. I can't remember who said it, and I really should have spent my break looking who said it. All you need is for your film to have a good opening, 3 good scenes in the middle, and a good ending. I read a tweet that was, oh my God, it really sticks the landing. And the minute that the final montage of he did it all along, and I thought, who are these idiots? This is the great ending that they're referring to. The ending that doesn't make any sense in any way, shape, or form. Then, thankfully, the soft and powerful sounds of Sophia Lespexter ring through Saltburn Mansion, and the movie sticks the landing like no other. What a great year for movie endings. Oppenheimer, great ending. Killers of the Flower Moon, incredible ending. May December, incredible. It's been a great, great, great year for just like, you know what? Stick the landing. Here we go. Jazz, do you think it sticks the landing, or do you think it's just like, well, I guess we could do this?
I think it sticks the landing in terms of everyone's talking about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you want people to talk about your movies, and if you're gonna get people to talk about your movie, get a hot guy to run around fully naked in a mansion.
This is the thing, isn't it? It's like, I thought that May December with Charles Melton was going to have the sort of push that this did, but it just doesn't end fun. It just like it's similarly about a lot of dark things, and Charles Melton's very attractive and is in it, and everybody loves Charles Melton from Riverdale. And I thought, oh great, it's going to have that push, and people are going to watch it and then go, wow, this is actually the film of the year. We watched it because Charles Melton was in it, but actually it's the film of the year. But it's very, very sad for like the final half an hour. No less brilliant, but very, very sad. Whereas Emerald Fennell knows, and it's the same thing she did. It's the same thing she did with Promising Young Woman. I'm going to have my cake and eat it too. I'm going to have the really sad ending. Really sad ending, really effective ending. And then, you know what? Actually, no, she managed to send a letter to Alfred Molina and have predated texts and get the FBI there, even though the whole point of the film was that the cops failed her friend in that rape case. But now we're like, yeah, cops are great. Come and arrest Bo Burnham. Whereas this is just a lot of fun.
Where would you have wanted it to end?
Where it ends.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you
I
like
think
yes.
it's like the perfect ending.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the montage. I planned all of this all along. I hated all of you. Is really stupid. Also, let's talk about this. So 2020 COVID Cafe. And she's now got the Amy Dunn hair, and
Yeah.
she's just like, she says this about Sir James's death. I'm surprised he waited so long. Did he also kill himself?
I think she would have anticipated it because of like, their kids being dead.
Yeah. That's what I got. Not that he like offed himself.
Mm. Again, make it clearer. And also, is this is what he's hoping for? Or was he just going to be happily living forever wearing glasses?
Was he not waiting? I think he was waiting because he knew that he had Elsbeth. Like, he knew he had her.
Yeah, but
So,
that's,
like, he
I'm
was just
sorry,
kind of
Jazz,
waiting
but that's
for him
so
to start.
stupid. He waited 10 years for
Yeah, I
Richard E.
agree.
Grant
It's
to die.
silly. It would have been funnier if it was like, not funnier, but if he had something to do with his death. I don't know. He like
Yeah.
was waiting around a corner, gave him a shock, and that's how he had the.
Yeah.
He's like, "Rah!" He's like,
Yeah. I mean, and then he's just like lorem ipsum.
My favorite bit is where they show the laptop screen and he's just
Like a
smushing.
goddamn muppet.
I fucking pissed myself when I saw that. It was so
And
funny.
he's just like, have you been all right? No, sorry. Have you been happy? Not really. You? No, not really. Again, and so I'm thinking, oh, this is interesting. Is he going to marry Elspeth? No, he just moves in and starts. My cousin Racheling just starts poisoning her.
yeah.
Yeah. I hated
Stupid.
that.
No one
Yeah.
starts. There's no one like, they really seem to drop quite fast when this guy's around.
Also, what sort of poison is it? How is he poisoning her?
Where's he getting it from?
That disables her, makes her wheelchair bound,
It doesn't kill her.
and then eventually puts her on
disables
life
her.
support.
He could have just gone all in with the
Spot
actual
just so he
poison
can
that
tell
kills
the
you.
story.
And then also, this made me laugh. These past few months with you, it's only been a couple of months.
Again, and no one went, bit weird.
It's taken him a couple of months. These past few months with you. It's taken a few months, and he's immediately like, you know what, poisoner, make us sign the will over to me.
God.
And
Also,
then
like I was really deep in this. I don't think that is how that works. I don't think that's how, because like with houses like that, like they are partially owned by like England. So like you can't just sign
it would
over
have
a
been
house.
this movie needed to end with him dancing for 5 minutes and then turning another corner, and it's just a pair of retired people, and the house has been bought by the National Trust.
Yeah. And there's like a tour going around.
Yeah, don't go, and he's just running around, coked out of his mind, naked. He's like, "Don't step over the ropes."
That would have been funny.
Yeah, where's Duncan? And then he's just like sat there. Also, he's spent all of this time slowly poisoning her, and then at the last hurdle, he's just like, "Fuck it," pulls out the tube. My guy, if you're gonna do it, also, he's not a doctor. How does he get the tube in for when the people eventually find her? Instead, he's just sat there on the swing.
So good.
Oh God.
Anyway, and then and just when I thought the film was gonna, and then we've already talked about the razor blade placement and the Farley email, and he's just like, and then I thought, wow, if this cuts to black now, she really shot the bed, and then I suddenly hear murder, 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 and I don't want to be that guy, and I'm not going to be that guy, but I loved Murder on the Dance Floor before Saltburn.
Oh yeah, it's a classic in the club.
Yeah, but I don't think it is. There's a lot more people now who. Anyway, but I'm happy. But this is new year, new Tom. I'm happy about that. Young Tom in 2017, when Call Me by Your Name came out, and everyone started loving Love My Way by the Thompson Twins, and I was like, I'd like to.
It's psychedelic first.
I'm ashamed of myself. I'm ashamed of Thompson Twins is Hold Me Now.
Yeah.
Isn't I apologize to my family. This is a great story. Me and an ex, the one that starts with J, made love playlists for each other. And I put Love My Way on there because I thought, what a great song. Didn't know it was about him coming out as gay.
Girl, how did you miss that?
And like, you know, when Spotify had that thing called Genius, where it was like, all that, and she was like, and she said, Tom, I was on my love playlist, and because oh no, sorry, that was it. Because I put at the very end, all I ask of you, reprise from Phantom, because I know she preferred the reprise, and I said, and I chose the last song very specifically, and then I added that, forgetting that I told her that. So she thought I was confessing
like,
to
"Are you
being
going out?"
gay. And that my way of coming out as gay was adding that song to a playlist
If
and
it's not
asking.
gay enough that you put a Phantom of the Opera song in a love.
Yeah, if it's not gay enough that May December is my favourite film of the year. And
I'm crying. Oh my god.
I know, that's a great story. I know you'd like that one. And we can't even enjoy Call Me By Your Name anymore because of that goddamn cannibal rapist piece of shit. Like, what the hell are we? Also, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it because I'm just on one now. I loved Bones and All. But did Luca and Timmy not think that it was a weird vibe to make their next film together a movie about cannibals?
God.
Luca, Timmy, I've got an idea for our next. I don't know why he's Swedish. He's an Italian man. His name is Guadagnino. I know what our next movie is going to be. It's about carnivores. Why can I no longer do Italian?
You like Austria now. Oh, good.
I know what our next emergency podcast is going to be.
What?
Challenges.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I cannot wait.
It's gonna be so good.
That's another song I love, S&M by Rihanna. That's pretty gay. Darling, I added S&M by Rihanna to your love playlist.
I think you need to reevaluate your life. You know?
Oh, I know it would be easier if I was gay.
Yeah.
I just have this terrible thing where I like women. And then
God.
and then and then he dances around and he's got his Dodger out and he does a line of coke and blows a kiss to his little.
I hate Todger as a word. Do we never use it again, please?
Somebody says Todger in like a film recently. It must be a British film.
Oh yeah.
Are you thinking of the audiobook?
Yes, I am. Thinking.
Yeah, you're thinking of Prince Harry audiobook.
Oh my Todger.
I can't believe Megan read that and went, yeah.
No, because he didn't freaking write it. Come on now.
I'm putting Elizabeth Arden cream on my Todger. He suddenly, this is what my mummy used to use on her lips, and now I'm using it on my Todger. I opened up the tube, and the smell transported me back.
God.
What an incredible jazz. I want to give you the Nobel Prize for Literature for remembering, because that would have annoyed me for years. That would have been my Saltburn. But like 10 years later, I would have been sat in a cafe. Jazz, do you have any final thoughts on Saltburn?
Go to Hannah first. I'm still trying to draft.
Well, I think the big question is, sorry, Hannah, but I think the big question is, does talking about how much it's really stupid and doesn't make any sense actually affect its entertainment value? Because I like registered all of these things on a first watch and still had a great time. Thought about it after, still had a great time. Watched it with somebody yesterday who was also out loud being like, well, that doesn't make any. And I was just like, you know what? Let's have some fun.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's like, it's the same thing with Don't Worry, Darling. Sometimes it's more the hype around the film that like makes it entertaining than the actual film. Do you know what I mean? Because
Did this
everyone's
have
all like,
hype? No, I mean, sorry. Obviously, it had hype, but like, this doesn't have negative. Well, I guess it does have shock, like, ooh, edgy hype.
Yeah, but it wasn't
yeah,
like
it
people
has
weren't
hype.
going around being like, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Like, at least
Mm.
not
You
that
didn't watch it
I
because it's bad. You watched it because it was shocking.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know, like ever since I watched it like a month ago, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it.
Yeah. It's
I don't know, like I just keep like realizing new things, and I keep seeing interviews that like tell me new things, and I'm like, oh my God, fascinating. And like the way they filmed it with like the aspect ratio, just I was just fascinated. I'm fascinated by this film.
Mm.
I love it. All the acting is amazing, and obviously it's set in Oxford, and I'm like walking around these places all the time.
I
So I'm
think
always like, I love it.
I think we I think we are supposed to. Yes, here it is. We now know what Olivia Wilde's new movie is going to be. Have you heard about this?
Why is she being given another movie?
The film is being produced by Margot Robbie's production company.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
okay.
It's uh, no casting has been announced yet, but it's a Christmas comedy called
Oh,
Naughty.
oh.
According to the synopsis, the movie follows a mother whose only hope of securing custody of her son from her gaslighting trash bag ex is to find Santa Claus and convince him to testify in her divorce. Sorry.
Okay, I don't understand her like filmmaking career because like with
That's a
Emerald
real
Fennell,
sentence.
she's got like her two films are so like that you can understand how you got both of those films from this
Yeah.
person. Like obviously she also wrote the Cinderella musical. We'll give her that. That's a bit
Did.
yeah,
She
that's a bit out of the way, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
Um
sense actually.
I
is this
controversial opinion
movie is
love the
this
Cinderella musical.
is this movie better or worse if instead of Murder on the Dance Floor he sings
I
Call Me?
never have a heart because you broke it.
Oh
That's what
no,
I
I
want
was
to.
just gonna do Bad Cinderella. I have no
Yeah,
idea
I was
what
gonna
any
say
of the
that.
other songs.
No, you
Yeah.
should. It's so good, guys. People shout on it for no reason. It was very entertaining. I'm just saying. Maybe I just love Emerald Fennell's work. I'm like, I don't care if it's bad. I have a good time when I'm there. It's always gaudy.
Yeah.
It's always bright and flashy. I have a
Mm.
good time.
What do you think's next?
And so she's done a female revenge film. She's done a male revenge film. I think she's gonna go non-binary revenge film or a space movie.
Is this a? I'm sorry. Uh, is this a revenge movie? What's he getting revenge for?
He's not getting revenge. He's
Them
just
being
being
rich. I don't know.
He's also rich. Like he's got a decent amount of money.
I was reading something the other day, and I've seen it like all over TikTok as well, that this is actually talking about um the middle class feeling like they are not middle class. Like the middle class in this country is always trying to be like, oh, I'm so poor. Like I only have two cars instead of like a fleet of limos, but like they are still rich. But they see themselves as less because they're surrounded by the uber rich, if that makes sense.
I
I've
think-
seen. I know what you're talking about. It's like wherever you are, someone's always gonna have like more.
Yeah, you're always trying to put yourself down so you don't feel bad for being the most privileged person in that space.
Yeah.
I think the best thing that happened to this film was the fact that Emerald Fennell has done, and everybody else has done, like Barry's just like, yeah, no, I enjoyed it, and Archie and Alison Oliver are just doing like just having a great time. And
In the restaurant.
and the big thing for me is that Emerald Fennell has not done a series of interviews and a series of things where she talks about, well, I really wanted to make a movie about class, and I really wanted to do a really, a really probing movie, and I really wanted to explore class. And if you look at it this way, instead, she's just on like, what's her name? Edith Bowman's podcast talking about how, well, it had to be It's a Cheeky Christmas. I mean, what a great song. And she is like, and she's doing the whole reading the letterbox thing, and she's like, everybody's a freak. And I'm like, you know what? Fair play. And I really do think there's a world where she comes out and she's like, well, in many ways, he's penetrating a world of class and excess, and the movie in many ways is about the foibles of British society. And I'm like, babe, you made a movie. You made a movie where a guy fucks a grave. The fact that she's like in on it,
Yeah.
in a way that I didn't feel she was actually with Promising Young Woman. I mean, that was more serious.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's just 10 times more enjoyable, isn't it? I mean, and obviously it's more enjoyable, but yes, I'm happy. I liked Saltburn, and I think it is still firmly 13. Well, right. Let me just.
It was 14, so it's gone up.
Right. Currently, it's Saltburn, Scream 6, Ferrari, Dix the Musical, K Mutiny
You're
Court.
putting it way too close to films that are way worse than it.
Scream 6 was great. These are my favorite films.
Okay.
What else do you think was? Did you not like Ferrari?
Did you like Ferrari?
Yeah, Ferrari was good.
You are a boy at the end of the day, you know.
Did you just say what's Ferrari about?
No, I said, when did it come out?
Oh, last
It was
month.
quite early.
Dix the Musical 11, which was great. Came Mutiny Court Martial 10. Are You There, God It's Me, Margaret 9. Theatre Camp 8. Royal Hotel 7. I currently have Maestro at 6.
I haven't seen it. I've seen interesting clips.
Somebody left Snoopy in the vestibule. Your entire life is about mystery. It's very enjoyable. And
Wait,
then,
how did it take him 6 years to become a conductor as well? Like,
yeah,
my God.
don't know about that. Don't know about that one, Bradley. Yeah, it took him 6 years to become a conductor. When did Star is Born come out? I thought that was 2019.
He's just been training the whole time.
No, it wasn't 2018 because I was with Jenny. There you go.
No, it was 2018 because when A Star Is Born came out, I was auditioning for Dear Evan Hansen on the West End, and I used a song from A Star Is Born for my audition.
Did you do? What did you do that? Do that to me?
Used the one where he like died, and she's like, "Why did you leave
Never
me?"
Love Again.
Yeah, that
My
one.
mum wanted me to sing that at her wedding. Because I'm singing at my mum's wedding, and that's the song. She was like, "I just love the song. Can you not just sing it?" I was like, might be a bit of a downer on the day, Mum.
I love American Pie. Doesn't mean I want it at my bloody funeral.
Yeah, it seems like an interesting choice for a wedding, but yeah. Star is Born.
Star is Born was great. Saltburn was not as good as A Star is Born. And do you disagree?
I honestly, I the more we talk about Saltburn, the more I'm like, that was my top film of the year.
It's very enjoyable. It's very enjoyable. I
had a great time.
I
Not that I
think
saw
I had
many
the best
films,
time
but
watching that film.
Yeah.
Yeah. My big thing is that, like, I watched Poor Things the other day, and for me, Poor Things is 2 hours and 22 minutes and does feel it. And I know that I'm the guy who thinks that Oppenheimer flies by and Killers of the Flower Moon flies by. Well, Killers of the Flower Moon doesn't fly by, but I do think it's justified in its length. But like Poor Things did feel excessive, whereas this again sort of flew by. And I'm hearing a lot of people who are saying it gets a lot slower, and well, we had that discussion, but like I'm in.
Yeah, I was in. I'm in. I'm on board. I'm lost in Saltburn. You
I
know.
drank the Kool-Aid. I
Yeah.
drank the bathwater. But
Yeah,
Everyone
you
drank
did.
the cummy bath water, and that is 2023. It's summed up in one sentence.
That is vile. Please never say that again.
okay. Do you think Saltburn will have a lasting memory? Because as much as I brought it up and you've both seen it and remember it and liked it, nobody's really talking about Promising a Woman anymore. Does anybody bring Promising a Woman up with you? Like, oh, that's one of my favorite films, or that was really good, or anything
Never
like
hear
that.
it as like that's one of my favorite films.
Mm.
But like, does anybody just? I don't. It doesn't come up. Whereas people still talk about Star is Born. That's another thing I think about is like when it comes to the great movies, will people still be talking? So Star is Born was it 5 years ago? Do you think? I think Saltburn has a chance to be
Mm.
a rewatchable movie moving forward.
Well, you know, working at HMV, I'm surrounded by movies all the time, right? Um, and like I must say, I don't think I've sold a singular disc of Promising Young Women, but I do feel like Saltburn will, as soon as if it ever gets released on disc, I feel like it's gonna be like on the charts for a really long time. People are gonna be buying it. I do think it's gonna have like a long life.
I do. Well,
Yeah.
and also, I mean, it's the unintentional, unexpected viral Christmas. It was the unexpected viral Christmas movie hit of the Christmas season. Like, this is a bizarre, erotic, freaky film, and people were watching it with their families. Half for the TikTok value, half for the meme or whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
I do think it was very smart of them to go straight from cinema to like digital release for free.
well, yeah, yeah.
I think streaming release that has helped this movie like an infinite amount. Like
It's
ridiculous.
even if people don't finish the film and just watch the bathtub, get to the bathtub, get to the blood, and then go. It's got a viral bit, and then, like you say, it's got a TikTok trend at the end, ready made into the film.
Yeah.
You know, come on, everybody, dance around. Well, I mean, they're not really doing it. That should be the real trend. Nudism.
Be naked, dance around the
Yeah.
house. Yeah. Now the rich people have really taken to that and sort of dancing around their mansions. So very fun for us.
Yeah, there should be like a bed. We should do one in one of the bed sits that we end up in London.
Yes, it's a singular room, like going around in circles.
To one corner. It's murder on it. Oh.
Yeah.
Where is everybody? Oh, it's 8 p.m. Right. Thank you for bringing it back. Bringing it back. Well, that was wonderful. That was everything I wanted it to be and more. And I hope Challengers reaps. I think this is the Challengers crew. When does Challengers come out?
I'm gonna say like February.
Challengers.
Because it got pushed back, didn't it?
Got pushed. And I was very sad.
Yeah.
It comes out the 26th of April. It's literally a movie made for me. Luca Guadagnino directs an erotic thriller about tennis. I mean, sign me up.
It sounds like a podcast like story that I've heard before.
Yes.
Just like slightly more maybe violent than
Yeah, I re-release Out of Bounds. Who were you in Out of Bounds, Jazz? You were a female film. You were a feminist film critic.
Yep. And I was one other part, but it had like one line.
Well,
Yeah.
you said that you were busy.
I enjoyed my little part that I had.
I know.
Lucy. Yeah. We were busy though. We were very busy.
Lucy.
Lucy something.
The way you wrote it.
I did write it, yes. Well, I'm not supposed to, I can't know everything. Saltburn, ladies and gentlemen. In just like they got lost in Saltburn, we got lost in Podburn. That's terrible. Podburn. Thank you very, very much. And we will this coven when shall we three meet again? We will only come out when there are movies with sexy discourse, and
Yes.
we will reconvene because Challengers will have one, surely.
Yeah, it needs a catchy song. Don't Worry, Darling had one. Saltburn had one.
Oh, they do S&M by Rihanna, but they need to put that in the film. It's used a lot in the trailer, which means it probably won't be used in the film.
Well, fingers crossed they have another catchy song.
What's another good? I'm not really a Disturbia fan. I like S&M.
I mean, I want a Kesha song in there. Let's be honest.
Catches.
Kesha.
Oh, K dollars.
Your love, your love, your love is my drug. I want that one.
Don't know that one. Nothing has rooted in my mind more than the principal in Glee calling Kesha K$, Shah. And that is, I have then, for 12 years now, or whatever, how long it's been, only referred to her as K$, Shah. The same way that I call him William instead of William. Salt weed.